Welcome, folks.
Happy Sunday.
I hope folks all set your clocks forward so you're on daylight savings time now if you're in the United States and not in Arizona.
Right. They're about to get rid of that, by the way. They're talking about getting rid of it, which would be fine. Welcome to the 21st century while there's still some left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is basically kind of a makeup stream because, last Saturday we had Jaya burning the place down, and I figured give you folks, your full dosage of me drawing, and this is going to be a double stream week because I'm also going to be streaming this Saturday.
Because then the next stream that would normally happen, that's BabsCon weekend, so he's going to be Babsing.
Right.
I'm going to be Babsing too.
And also, that week, though, we're scheduling for Wednesday the 28th. We're going to have a special stream with Robert. The
Clear Skies, yeah.
Yeah, creator of the Roan RPG. He's going to be here in the studio, chatting and everything like that. Yep, that guy right there made that pen. Maybe we get together tonight to have some fun and draw.
Yep. Indeed. But tonight we got a full docket.
Yeah, basically I figured I haven't gotten back to it in a while and people seem to really enjoy them, so I'm going to be doing some Power Pony. So I got at least 2, possibly 3 pieces already worked out, and then I'll probably leave the last hour open as a request image for folks. So I could use something.
You can use some brain lubricant.
Gears are grinding. Tonight we're going to be doing basically a variation on the Brandy Alexander. We're going to be doing the Dorda Alexander.
Right. Now, a Brandy Alexander is basically brandy, cream de cocoa, whipping cream, and then sugar over ice. There you go. Sometimes it's called a milkshake. I don't have any cream de cocoa, but I do have Dorda, which is a chocolate liqueur. So we're going to be doing that. So I'm going to push this button right here.
And we're going to go to bar camp.
There we go.
Hey.
There. Okay, and a couple of big-ass ice cubes. And then we grab our brandy. Does not have to be an expensive brandy because this is going to get overwhelmed by the cocoa. So I have my cheap brandy. Yeah, it's pretty damn cheap. It's not quite engine degreaser, but it's close. Yeah. So a shot of that.
Things don't have to be top shelf every time in a cocktail.
Yeah, again, there are times when it's just a waste.
You're showing off how much money you can spend.
The Dorda.
The good stuff here.
Yeah. So the Dorda, which is basically dark chocolate and just enough vodka in it to keep it liquid at room temperature, and that's the only 2 ingredients. And I go blurp. Ooh, look at that blurp.
Question, Rebel, are you on iOS by chance? Because I know that they have problems.
The iOS client that Picardo puts out is
sucks.
Yeah, it's junk.
Yeah.
Okay, so but in the not junk category, we got the Dorda in. Now we have a shot of cream. This is just the heavy whipping cream. The 36% fat stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, look at them calories flow. And now the thing that's that bartenders wish they could do, but usually can't. Now let's see if I can do this without making a horrible mess.
You need a bowl or something like that?
I got to the other component.
Oh, okay. So. Alrighty. If you need me to hold anything, let me know.
Not to worry. So crack the egg, and we want the egg white. And we carefully open that up. Don't break the yolk. The yolk gets trapped in the small part of the egg. You see, that's pure yolk. Just use the shell here. Cut off the last of the white. There we go. And then this I'm going to put down there. And then here we go.
We dropped something.
Sugar.
All part of the show.
That's your battle cry. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. And remember, Patina uses her superpowers for
good.
Awesome.
There we go. Crack that open. There we go, like that. There. There we go there. And that to Baron.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Yeah, the egg white helps.
Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive, kids. Yeah. All right. This has been a public service announcement. And now we have the nice little messy thing right here.
Yeah.
One side has the ice. The other side has egg yolk all over the place. Woohoo! I go, whoop.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh,
All right.
right.
Yeah. So
Well-
yeah, it really is. Particularly if you make it with Dorta. Again, it's chocolate, brandy, and cream, and it's got a billion calories and some sugar and a fair amount of alcohol, and it will get you woohoo. So, yeah, they really are very
Was
tasty.
this drink inspired by the shake weight?
Yeah, there we go.
Dan Bear, are you new?
I think we've seen him once or twice, but
Okay.
welcome back, as
Yes.
the case may be. Anybody else here new, by the way, make a big yell, and we'll make a big yell right back at you.
Because we're friendly like that.
Yep. All right. So now that your brain is lubricated and ready to go,
Why don't we do a little slideshow?
that's- we have to do some
I have
art.
done, I
I'm
had
trying
done
to-
Spartan last week. I've actually been a little bit on the business side.
this is true. This is true. That means I reached this. button
And
right
welcome,
here.
Salami. First time here.
Yeah, and I believe Salami comes to us through.
Mighty Muffin.
Yes, yeah, Mighty Muffin or Toxic Mario. You may remember him as from times gone past. So,
Being out of warranty.
yeah. Oh, my warranty expired years ago.
Go. Yeah.
Anyway, click. Tell us about your bat pwn.
Oh, this is Nightfall, and she's one of Luna's court, kind of fulfilling the same role that Phoenix and Bloodfeather and Quicksilver do. She's a bit of a rescue case, and you're going to learn more about her background as time goes on. She's also kind of become kind of like Apple Bloom's kind of crazy cousin.
Indeed, indeed. Yes. Oh, you said crazy.
Oh, yes. So if you folks were tuned in last week, you watched Jaya almost did catch something on fire in the studio.
Hi, Valor.
Hey,
Welcome.
Val, yes, welcome. So this was Jaya's OC in Caustica, and in Caustica, one of the things that came out during the stream was the fact that Jaya stated one of the hobbies she's picked up now is pole dancing. So she does an art instruction, she does encaustic painting, she does mixed media painting, and now she's doing pole dancing. And on the 16th of
March,
this
yeah.
month, yeah.
This is Friday.
This Friday in Sacramento at the Beatnik Studios. She is going to be doing an art exhibit that is themed around pole dancing, and the studio that she dances at is actually going to have 2 poles set up in the studio, and they're going to be having pole dancing. And it's open to all ages, so basically it's a gym.
the full clothing, the whole bit.
Yeah, whole thing. Even though what's explained some reasons why you do have exposed skin, you actually need that to get the contact friction with the pole and everything.
Right. See, either that or what Jaya does is the thigh highs.
Yes.
Yeah, because they have good grip too.
Yes.
Yeah. What the thing is about the poles is that it's not so much that they're wax and you spin around them because they're slippery.
No, they're-
You want grip. The poles are set on ball bearings.
Yes.
So you grab the pole and the whole pole spins. So,
Yep.
Yeah. So just a side thing. We'll say there. Ingrid. Yeah.
Ingrid Nelson.
Ingrid Nilsson, yes, she does the voice of Maud Pie.
Hey, Lego.
Lego is she's a professional yoga instructor, but she also does pole dancing. Not a stripper. She does pole dancing.
Yep.
As part of how she pays her bills.
Yep. So anyway, it's gonna be $10. It starts at 5:30 in Sacramento. If you happen to be in the Sacramento area and you want to drop by,
Yep. Stop by and say hi to Jaya. She is awesome.
right?
All righty. What else we got? You have also been going back and redoing some of your homework.
Yes, I have been. Every year, I'll usually take a couple of topics that I think are something I need to improve on. I could have more growth, wider range of skills. And one of the things for this year is going to be folds and drapery and clothing. Now, if you're going to have clothes hanging off a body, one of the things you have to determine first is how does the body move and bend, because that's going to have an impact on what type of...
Yeah, it brings the cloth with it.
Right. And so while, the stuff I'm putting up here, there's no clothes on the people, this is kind of like laying the foundation for it. And since this is all being kind of distilled down from a book by Bern Hogarth called Dynamic Wrinkles and Drapery, the book's got a lot of good information in it, but yeah, I'm not really very keen on Burns' writing style. So what I'm doing is I'm really trying to
Distill it down.
And I figured since I'm going through all this effort for myself, I might as well put up online. It might help someone else.
Exactly. All right. So again, we're sticking to some old themes here.
Yep, and continuing the Bunny Suit series. Yeah, oh lordy, these two. Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. And that piece lasted all of about 30 seconds when I went up on the Smudge Marks and Ingleworks.
Color me surprised.
Yeah. Boop.
Yeah, that's see, it was again. It's nice. It's nice that those two are no longer the jerks that they once were.
Right. There's sometimes abrasive, but
Yeah.
that's better. You can work with that.
All righty. Okay, folks, brace yourselves. We're going to do some science.
That's right.
1, 2, 3 for science.
Bam. Yes, this is a commission I did for Calpain. Some of you folks might automatically recognize the character anyways. But this was a commission I did for him, and, well, cared about how to get interested with the little sensor block we do, because usually we have a Big Mac plush.
But that would raise other questions.
What exactly is he doing with that Big Mac plushie? So we use a different symbol.
Yeah. So if you want to discover the depths of science, you're going to have to go to Baron's webpage on DeviantArt and click that little button that says "I've old enough."
Yes.
Because it's for science.
Exactly. And I thought it was very nice that actually I have not put up on FA. It's only residing right now on DA, and it'll be going up on Patreon too.
So Duca, you have to go if you want to split the atom. You're going to have to go do the Manhattan Project at baron-engel.deviantart.com. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And we got one more thing because remember this was a short week. It was just 1 week, but you were busy.
Yep.
Check that out.
Yep, that was a commission for a client. Now, well, the funny thing is that the last piece we had to go boop and stick some kind of little thing over it. This character, before you ask, no, she does not have exposed nipples normally, and so didn't have to worry about it. The character's name is Amora, and I got hired for the job because I apparently do really good boots and gloves.
Yeah. Shiny.
Yeah, but those aren't too shiny. Those are much more like, your normal. They're not like the patent leather or anything like that.
Yeah, that's more like a Latigo.
Exactly.
Yeah. All righty. So that's what you've been up to last week. This week we're going to see some new arts. All right, I got to click on that, and I say, okay, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, it's underneath the hair. Horses don't have fur; they've got hair.
Yeah.
They don't have the undercoat. All right. So yes, we're going to be doing. And what I want to get out of the way is there's two of the power ponies I have not yet changed classes.
Aha.
Alrighty.
Okay, so we're switching over to the drawing
Camera.
and it looks about like 1, 2, 3. This.
Doo-doo.
Okay, got a new camera for the overhead. Let's see how that turns out. It will make Baron look like he has fewer skin diseases.
That's the idea.
Yeah, we're down to just 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they say Lego. Yeah, Baron. A lot of Baron's work is right down the middle of classic Vargas style pinup art from the 40s and 50s, and the stuff you would see on the noses of airplanes during World War II.
Because those were kind of my inspirations and my starting points when I was getting going in this. All right, so the first one I'm going to do is I want to do Radiance.
Yes. Yes, Rarity got it before anybody else did in that episode. She understood.
Yes.
Oh, this is how I can do it. Okay. Yeah. See, if you folks remember, the Power Ponies. And I'm so surprised that hasn't gotten at least a serious proposal for a spin-off series, or at least a mini series.
Yes.
They got to do it again.
Yes, they need to visit before the end of season 9. All right. So let's see here, and she has more or less the same mane and tail, but not exactly the same. There's some little differences to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
All
Let's see,
right.
I'll make sure I'm going to have enough room when I get done. I'm not going to be having to cut the main show. Let's bring that down a little bit here, just to be on the safe side.
Okay. I'm going to mess a little bit with the with the camera to pick up those really faint lines. It's a color accurate camera, but it likes to do its own color balancing without human intervention. And once in a while, you have to kick it in the teeth and say, "No, do it this way because we're the boss."
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's go over here, and I'm going to say configure video and camera control. I'm going to say exposure. We're going to pull that back just a little. No, that didn't help us. Okay.
See, this is one of the beauties of having someone who
Yeah.
is good at tech. I can focus on just doing the art and entertaining you guys while Kieran sits here and behind the scenes resolves all the gremlins.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as all.
You keep them at
Logitech,
bay.
update your drivers. You know, the drivers for this camera were written in 2012. It's 2018, and there's been 2 major operating system releases from Microsoft since then.
And this is still a camera that's in production for them, isn't it?
Well, this is the 930, so yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we were actually looking at what can we do to get better cameras. And the next step up from webcams is camcorders.
Hey, Dusty.
Sup, Dusty? So the next step up is camcorders, mostly because unlike DSLRs, they can stay on for hours at a time without overheating. A DSLR, digital SLR camera, has a great big, postage stamp sized sensor, but that generates a lot of heat. The sensors on a camcorder are about 1/4 the size, so they generate 1/4 the heat. Which means that they can run all day long without overheating. Say a DSLR will overheat after being used for video for about 15 to 20 minutes. So, okay, camcorders, that's cool, that's fine. Problem is that camcorders, the remote control that you can do with it, basically comes down to zoom.
Yeah.
While with camcorders, it's all done in software. So you can just manipulate right there. That includes pan and tilt, basically skating around the picture, white balance, which color saturation, the whole bit is really easy to do. But you can't do that with camcorders unless you get big, expensive editing decks. And by expensive, I mean it costs as much as a car.
Yeah.
So that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're just hoping that webcams will get better and better because they serve our purposes very well.
The black and white would look kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, there you go. Again, and good luck trying to find a black and white camera these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it all comes down to Logitech, update your damn drivers. Unfortunately, there aren't too many companies that make cameras as flexible as Logitech's. Microsoft does. They have their live cams, but they don't go into like 4K video or any of the other modern really good stuff, and they don't have the same ability to again pan and zoom and et cetera in their device drivers that Logitech does. So Logitech is the least bad of the lot.
Lesser of two evils.
Yeah, and it all comes down to the fact that we're using 4 cameras. If it was just 1 or 2 cameras, then it would be a lot easier to deal with, but it's a 4-camera rig. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, we've been doing some homework. We've been checking in on what the people on Critical Role use for their stuff and everything, and they can get away with what they're doing because they basically have a full-fledged, honest to goodness studio.
Yeah, exactly. Critical Role. They have an after show where for a few minutes they pull back and you can see the studio, and I counted 9 shotgun microphones, 7 video cameras, 2 video control decks, 1 audio control deck, and of course a full set of lighting bars, et cetera,
Yeah.
in a
Sweet.
Yeah, in a full, not just acoustic treatment, but full soundproofed studio. This is what you can do when you've got a $5 million budget.
Yep.
Which is by my best guess, that's about what Geek and Sundry is taking in every year. So you can have that real production value, and of course they also have about 20 members of the off-camera crew are doing their various things. That costs money because this is professional work. On Thursdays they do Critical Role, on Fridays they're doing a game show, on Tuesday they're filming the next Breaking Bad, whatever, and they got professionals. So,
Yep, they got a full-fledged operation.
Yeah. You do indeed see a Radiant Agni, the leather of two evils. Oh my God. That would be Vipera Vixen.
Yes.
Does Humdrum count as a power pony or not? Is he a pony aside from Spike playing him?
That's a good one. We never actually see him in the episode, and I've only read the comic annual once, so I can't remember if he shows up or not.
Generic. I've thought about using GoPros. The thing about GoPros is that they really are designed for outdoor use, which means that their low light capabilities are a little bit noisy. In order to pick up the low light stuff, you start to get that grainy video noise. The other thing is that they're designed for wide angle, which means you get a fisheye lens effect, and that gets corrected in software, but you still lose detail.
Yeah.
So they're
not
not
close-up work like this.
Yeah, exactly. And if we decide that we can live with the camera in a fixed position, without being able to zoom or something like that, I mean, a camcorder would be perfect, absolutely perfect.
But we're not certain yet if we can live with that.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, I might get one anyway, just because I don't have a camcorder right now that's worth anything. So, Panasonic is making some nice mid-grade stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn, that's some good corrupting, Missy. What's your name? The mouse.
Hello, Copper. Glad you could join us.
Yo, Cappuccino.
Yeah. Corrupt, have fun, profit from it, rinse and repeat.
That sounds like something
Step one,
McClaw
steal
would say.
underpants. Step 3, profit.
Yes.
Yeah. So that would, say Patina. Of course, we've heard the underpants gnomes. Patina would be the panty raid gnomes.
Yeah.
Say again, trophies.
Mm-hmm. I need to fix that eye. That's a horrible eye. That eye sucks. We're gonna fix that. Rarity should not have eyes.
Attach the GoPro to the top of Baron's head so he can see what he's looking at. We'll get one of those eyeball trackers.
Yeah.
Mike the Microphone has one that you can. It's an infrared eyeball tracker, and whatever he's looking at, whatever detail on the screen, you can tell when he's looking at the butts. And it just sort of highlights it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we would know how often you're looking at the butts, Baron.
Yep.
All the time.
Yeah. Can Yuki partner up with Patina for said raid?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're gonna need a healer. You're gonna need a tank. You're going to need an underwear per second. So you might need crowd control.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you bring a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. The IDW series has an issue, 2014 Tower special, all about Power Pwn.
Yep.
The real Power Ponies, as opposed to the main 6 playing them.
Yeah.
I'll have to go take a look at that sometime.
It is great because one of the things they have at the very end is, without being too much of a spoiler, the Maniac figures out how to open a portal.
Yeah. Oh, Duca brought up a very good question.
Yes.
Is there some kind of place where we can donate to get better cameras? I am thinking about doing a Patreon of my own just for studio equipment. I'm hesitant to do that. Because it would go into the studio. That's great. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, would you guys?
Or
would you guys be interested in doing this?
Or
the upgrades
GoFundMe.
the upgrades are not cheap. And then they would happen as soon as X amount of money ended up the account. Hey, I've got enough money to go buy those upgraded microphones. I don't know.
See, the other thing I can think of is like a GoFundMe.
Yeah. It's a little bit different, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. If I decide to do it, I will let you know.
Mm-hmm. Delivered pennies per second.
Yes. Patina is literally trying to get into Celestia's drawers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I still need to get
literally. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I'm being as literal as humanly possible here.
Yeah, I still need to get around to drawing the picture because Celestia became her absolute most favorite pony when she dropped that line that Now, Spike, this is Twilight's fantasy, and there's no wrong way to fantasize.
Oh yeah.
The moment she said that, I was like, yep.
Well, see the problem. Lego, is that everything on the list is multi-$100.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
We've gotten to the point now where
think about that. Yeah.
we've gotten to the point now where we have picked most of the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. So. Ooh, 120 millimeters smooth bore. It's so smooth. Yeah. I'm surprised that Amazon doesn't have a pitch in for a thing feature. Well, they have an Amazon donations, thing, but as far as, crowdsourced pooling for equipment, what Amazon would do is they would acquire a company that's already doing that.
Yeah.
And and the closest thing to that is, the GoFundMe's and the Kickstarter, things, but those are still not exactly the same thing where you put money into a pool until a certain threshold is reached and then Amazon automatically ships. And then you set your next goal, and as soon as that's reached, Amazon automatically ships. That would be cool. I don't think anybody's doing it yet. Any of you guys want to be Silicon Valley entrepreneurs? Hey, set it up, man. Amazon will buy you out.
Yeah.
But then you'd have to work for Amazon.
Or take your buyout and then
Yeah.
sit on your yacht in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Or start your next company.
Yeah. Almost there, Cato. So, but yeah, and that's the thing is that if Amazon, if company A is buying company B and they get the idea that company B's employees are going to bail the instant that the cash arrives, why would you even buy the company?
Yeah.
Because you're not just buying the intellectual property, you're buying the access to the talent. And that's kind of a thing, So what will often happen if they're buying a company basically as a talent grab, is that they will offer the current employees, look, if you stay at least a year, you're guaranteed a bonus of this many shares of stock in the new company. Incentives.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And a good CEO will negotiate that for their employees. And most CEOs are pretty good about it. I mean, you hear about stuff, oh, those evil, Martin Shkreli. Hey, Farmer Bro got 7 years. You say his new product, crocodile tears.
Yeah.
But now he's flooding the market.
Yeah. But enough of current events.
Yeah.
We're a political free zone.
Yeah. Well, this isn't politics. This is justice. Yeah.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah. So.
Hello, Goldfur. Oh, everybody, if you are not aware of it, and actually I forgot to send you the link, or Goldfur, can you do it? Can you put up in the chat the link to the Ursa Major voting page? Because I have a piece of artwork that's actually been nominated.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's the cover for Goldfur's novels.
So since we don't have our cat's paw here tonight, let me see how fast
Yeah,
I can go typey here.
Yeah, we don't have cat's paw. He was kind of feeling kind of tired last night, and he has things he has to get done, and that's entirely understandable. His
He
life.
has like this thing called a job. Yeah.
Yep.
Ursa Major 2017 Baron Angle. Google Go. Google says prepare to engage the enemy. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
No, that's not directly there. Okay, let's try that again. Keep going.
Take two.
Baron's journal.
Yeah, if you go to my journal, that has a link to it.
Okay.
On DeviantArt.
Yeah. So your website's being slow.
Well, I didn't put up on my. Well, yes.
No, I mean your website itself is being slow.
Yeah, Smart Inglorks. Yeah. At the moment, we're trying to figure out why they're suddenly throttling us like crazy. I'm getting really, really tired of it.
Yeah. So who's your host?
DreamHost.
Oh, we've had nothing. At work, we were on DreamHost for a while. Now we're not on DreamHost.
Yeah. There's a possibility we may jump ship sometime in the future, especially if it's becoming a problem for people as far as a shopping experience.
Well, yeah, this is taking 30 seconds to load. So yeah, You need to scream bloody murder at them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so I'll just do this the easy way.
The
We'll
click
go
and
back
paste
to-
way.
I will go to your. There we go.
I think yes, you need to create a login to be able to vote.
Yeah, what they do is they email you a key, which you then, or basically they email you a link, and then you cash in that link to do a vote.
Right.
There we go.
And at this point, you have to have a valid email address to vote.
Yeah.
You can't send some fake,
There we go. Boom. Yep. And bang. There.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Because one thing that's kind of cool is that the award ceremony is going to be held at a convention in Australia that Gold Fur is going to be attending.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so it's really my hope that he has to go up and on my behalf actually accept something.
Yeah, well, if nothing else, the commission idea was his.
Exactly.
So
And it's his story.
there's at least a little involvement here. Yeah.
And it's his story in his universe that the scene is
Yeah.
based all off of. So yeah,
There you go.
he should be in the loop.
There we go. What is it about Pones and Zeppelins that go well together? Yeah.
All right.
Angry Saddle Rager. Yeah. So Deathlight, what do you drive? Hey, Jarrell.
Hello, Jarrell.
Caffeine. Yeah. So, what else has been going on? Oh, yes. Guilty. You did it.
Nah, the court, the judge, we had a good judge.
Yeah, you were exonerated, but it was a tense few hours.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
And of course, now Cedric wants to find out who basically did that and tried dragging his family's name through the mud.
Yeah. In the D&D game that I run, Cat's Paw,
Yes, Lego, I did.
Yeah.
And they were tasty.
Say that Cat's Paw, Dusty Cat, Baron, and a couple of other folks, his friends who are not Fanish, are in. One of the things that they agreed to do, they're in this town called Hergen's Bridge. It's largely run by dwarves. It's literally a bridge over a chasm that stood for 2,000 years. And the dwarves defend the heck out of it because it's one of their great architectural accomplishments. The guards there periodically do field exercises. I mean, war games is going a little bit over, is overstating things a little bit too much, just because it's only about 50 or 60 guys, 50 or 60 dwarves. But the party was hired to basically be sort of a wild card. Secretly, by the guy that was coordinating. I was like, we're not going to tell these guys. But you guys say, let's see what you guys can do just to throw a
Mix
wrench
things up.
Yeah, say a spanner in the gears. Here, if you can do things like steal battle plans and stuff like that.
Or their flag.
Yeah, or tag people. Shoot them in the back with a crossbow bolts. That's
Wooden.
got a wooden crossbow. That's got a blunt on the end, and basically paintball. We'll give you money. Just again.
And since we're adventurers, they said money. We were interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we lost most of our money from our job that never happened.
Yeah, exactly. And so they said, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And it was a 3-day, 2-night, thing, Dwarf Con, And the first night, they went out there and they.
Oh, Jojo.
Hey, say they went out there and and managed to steal one of the basically the red team's platoon flag, the company colors, And so they brought that back, and they also put some knockout drops in, the cask of ale, that they found. Not enough to actually knock them out, but enough to make them sleepy, so they could come back and maybe score some more points later on. And they went back to town and went up to the sergeant that had hired them and said, "Check this out." It's like, "Yep, it's the platoon banner." And said, "Hey, here's your 100 crowns. Well done." You have a sequel? Oh yeah, we're going back out there tonight. Well, they went out there and they said they're going to harass the same camp again.
Mm-hmm.
And they got out there, and the camp had been
They broke camp.
abandoned. Yeah, although the 2 tents are still there.
Mm-hmm.
But none of the dwarves. They had a cart pulled by 2 mules. That was gone. It's like, okay, is this a trap for us? So they skulked around a little bit. No. And somebody pointed out, it's like, look, if this was going to be a trap, they would have left at least a couple of guys to make things look normal and inviting.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. It's like, okay, basically they decided, they got burned last night. They're going to move.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so start tracking them back, to where do they move to?
So I'm doing my ranger thing, and Pensie's sending out his bat familiar.
Yep. We have one of the, let's say the human mage has a bat as a familiar, which is all kinds of advantage at night. And they managed to track, there's some wagon tracks going the other way. Let's say, some dwarf boot prints, not too many boot prints.
Mm-hmm.
And then come to this clearing, and there's a dwarf face down. First it's like, oh, did we put in too many knockout drops? Well, I'm going to sneak up there. And so Cedric, Baron's, deer ranger, goes sneaking up.
Do my ranger thing.
And gets right next to the face down dwarf and sees that there's an arrow sticking out of the back of his neck. Oh, crap. Is he still alive? No, it was the perfect assassination shot. Right at the back of the base of the skull. Cut the spine. The guy was cut down in mid stride.
Mm-hmm.
Just
like a marionette vault strings.
Yeah,
cut.
exactly. It's an anvil fell out of the sky, and he's not a dwarf anymore. Now he's a corpse. And so he's like, okay, start looking at this, and then he realizes something, and the other characters see him suddenly stand up and start, groping at his own quiver, and going through the arrows, and then saying, "Oh shit!" It was one of his arrows that had killed the dwarf. Not just any one of his arrows, but one that he inherited from his father, and black arrow, you came down to me from the forefathers of old, kind of thing, that he had carried sort of as a talisman of his father. It was,
and proof of my office. Yeah.
That arrow was missing. Oh wait, it's in the back of that dwarf's skull. Somebody had set him up, and they're like, "Oh shit!" The rest of the party's gathering around. What are we gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
So we pulled out and run away real fast, and they hear, Brognir, where are you? This ain't funny. Oh crap! They're looking for him, and they're nearby. And here come the dwarves into the clearing. Who are you? And of course, hi. Yeah, we're looking for Brognir. Have you seen him? He's right here.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell happened here? Was it an accident? And they're looking at it. It's like, do you know what happened? They're looking at the arrow, which is kind of unusual. And say, you know anything about this? And Cedric's like, yes. So, he fessed up that it was his arrow. It's like, well, what happened? Was it an accident? Did you shoot him by mistake?
Mm-hmm.
No, don't know what's going on. So imagine yourself as a 16-year-old kid away from home for the first time, had your ranger training, et cetera, but all of a sudden your family, this heirloom that he carries with, has been used to murder a dwarf, and it looks like you did it, and it's like, oh crap, they're going to cut my head off in the most literal possible way.
Well, more probably, these were dwarves that had taken us in when we'd fallen basically through a hole in the sky, for lack of a better word. So, they'd kind of taken us in and made us feel welcome, and it's like, crap.
Yeah. So anyway, so they were marched back into town, and fortunately for them, there was a cleric, not one that could raise the dead, but could cast Zone of Truth. Did you do it? No. Do you know how this happened? No. Is this your arrow? Yes. So they did the 20 questions thing, and they pretty much confirmed that, okay, yeah, he didn't do it. Then he cast Speak with Dead. You say, okay, guys, you're the player characters here. You get 5 questions, and it turns out that it looks an awful lot like somebody has replaced one of the dwarves with a doppelganger type of some sort, some kind of shape-shifted or illusionary spell or something.
And fairly high-ranking illusion spell because it's a moving illusion spell too.
Exactly. It's not like this static thing.
Like Pensy can do.
Maybe it's a polymorph. They're not sure. They have suspicions that it might be a hag or some other kind of fey creature. They don't know yet, but that's where we are right now. Is that?
Oh, and one of the archers in the group was attempted to be framed because he found one of his arrows missing. And then they found another dwarf with an arrow.
But yeah, exactly. Except that this one had been seen in 2 places at the same time after you questioned,
Yeah.
So there is definitely something going on by something that can infiltrate and do a very good job of pretending to be somebody else. Someone who is sneaky enough to be able to steal incriminating evidence and plant it, and then just killing off the dwarves. So that's where we stand right now, is what are we going to do about this?
And for Cedric, this is the first time in his life where he's, had the opinion in his mind, he's going to go and he's going to hunt someone down.
Yep. Yeah, so like I said, poor old Cedric, just, for a few moments there, the way it was described, it's like trying to put a brave face on it, but again, 16-year-old kid now suddenly faced with with a capital crime that he didn't commit, but it looks like he's not, he's not going to be able to convince anybody of that. It's like, now know fear. Now so. But yeah, he was exonerated relatively quickly, but it was an uncomfortable night.
Yeah, and of course, I still don't have that arrow back yet.
No, it's evidence. There may be some magic they can do.
Yeah, to get to glean something, but it's like I'm not leaving town about that.
Yeah. Yeah, generic. It should be easy to see who the imposter is. Just see who can't hold their liquor. Yeah, it's like who can survive seeing paint dry? Yeah. But yeah, so that's where we left off. Was, the party was just heading back out to return to the scene of the crime to see if they could pick something up and figure out a little bit more.
Well, we also that one elf in town who's got apparently more knowledge on this than we have, so we're going to have him kind of come along while I do my ranger thing out in the clearing.
Yeah, there's a moderate level elf bard in the area that's kind of hit it off with Dusty Cat's character Thatch. Has agreed to mentor him a little bit, and basically give him a reason to become a bard of the blade, a bard of the sword. And so they're gonna drag him along as a little bit of extra firepower. Oh, that's actually right. There's there's something that you folks may be interested in knowing. It's been announced. Thatch and Dial, which is where the character of Thatch comes from, which has been storyboarded by Sibsey, is getting the other character Dial is it's 2 bards traveling together in fantasy world. Mandapony, Andy Stein is Dial, Dusty Cat is Thatch, and that's getting a much more robust animation project. Peter New is going to be participating, doing voice direction, that kind of thing.
You all know who Peter New is.
Yep.
Although
if you're counting lines, his character with more lines than any other is Golden Delicious.
Yes.
Followed by Doctor Who's.
Yes.
Then Big Mac.
Yes.
So. Yeah. Thatch, what is Thatch's race? I have modified Tabaxi into a race called Leani. Not as in Tabaxi come out of old D&D, which they finally got promoted to a player race in 5th edition, and the official D&D take on it is that they're much more Mesoamerican and with a much stronger, curiosity killed the cat thing going. Leani, again, it's a feline race that custom made for this game, and they're not quite as, for lack of a better word, scatterbrained as the Tabaxi, are in regular D&D. But yeah, he's a hey diddle diddle. He's the cat with a fiddle. You are correct, Sesta. So again, he's Big Mac. He's Dr. Hooves. He's Golden Delicious. A bunch of bit characters. Yeah. So.
Was he the voice of Burnt Oak?
No.
Okay.
No. That was an actor. I think that was his only role. That only fully credited role.
I hope we see that character again. I like Burnt Oak.
Yep. Yeah. They got that Tom Bodette thing going.
Yeah.
And of course, I do declare, he was very cute as Cousin Orchard Blossom. Although he's got to get rid of that Monica Lewinsky hairdo. Oh, that was scary. And he has got to go see Rarity to get a proper fitting.
Yeah.
Because there are secrets that only your tailor knows.
Mm-hmm.
And Rarity could keep her mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
So, also that works from one of the Warhammer games because it's about war. Yeah, and remember, if you paint your spaceship red, it does in fact go faster. So it costs 5 points more.
Yep.
Yep. And if anybody watched the 2012 Littlest Pet Shop, he was Sunil in that.
Yep. The blue mongoose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, Dusty made a reproduction of Sunil's guitar from Littlest Pet Shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was sort of a Flying V Gibson kind of sort of,
Mm-hmm.
and Dusty built it from he basically kit bashed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, this is a good body, but we'll take the neck from this and the
Left
pickups
arms from
that.
this.
Yeah, and made him a custom, and that was presented to Mr. New at Neverwinter Nights, and Peter almost cried. It was great.
Is it gonna?
Yeah, because Peter can play the guitar. He's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
You still need to decide on an outfit for Princess Big Mac. That needs to be a Japanese schoolgirl futu. It's a fuku rather. Futu is something different. But no, it has to be the Sailor Moon outfit with a crown.
Yes.
Either that or go full Princess Tutu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Radiance looks gorgeous about it. Oh!
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they're doing an anthro version, yeah.
Well, in that case, I would go again. Definitely go for either the Fuku or the. Although actually, who was it? Not MN29.
DM29.
DM29. DM29 did did a Sailor Big Mac. That was very cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Private Stampede once wore a white tutu for his Princess Snowflake cosplay. Yeah, he wore that 2 or 3 times. For folks who have not met Private Stampede, Tyler.
Yeah.
He's also used to go as a Snowflake IRL. He is made of meat. He lifts. He is bulk biceps IRL.
Mm-hmm.
He lifts for bulk, and he has achieved it. He can.
Yeah, he can do the yell too.
Yeah, he has, again, we've got photographs of him bench pressing, Tara Strong, stuff like that.
Yeah, he was on a stream one time.
Yeah, more than once.
Yeah, he's sat in the hot seat a couple times.
Yeah, more than once. Yeah, he's been that on Dusty show 2 or 3
Yes,
times.
Eddie Carrot, those are
Friend
diamonds.
of the show. Yeah.
Those are diamonds. Or gems of some type. And same in her main. She's got them up here in the main. There, she should put one up here too.
Yeah. And that's the fun thing about Tyler. Again, he's about 6'1", 6'2". He's 250 pounds, and it's all muscle.
And his girlfriend,
it's like say seriously, all those folks that are into this hyper muscle stuff, they would like him, and and if he can run around going dressed in a tutu in front of 1,000 people, someone going to come up to him and give him crap about it? I don't think so.
Yep.
I don't think so. So it's like people like that, and Dusty that can say, yeah, I'm into this. What are you going to do about it?
Nothing, sir.
Well,
Thought so.
One of the stories I can tell from University Art, which we need to do our plug at some point in the near future, was when it's only been like maybe 3rd season, and I was working in the store one day, and this guy came in, and he looked like he could have been sent down by Central Casting. We need some guys in the background for a Sons of Anarchy episode. And looked like if his bike broke down, he'd just pick his bike up and carry it home.
Hey, Sagana.
And I noticed as I was helping him, he had on his bare shirt sleeve, just tank top thing.
No.
He had this right there on
muscle
his
tee, yeah.
He had this big old Fluttershy.
Yeah.
And I asked him about that. He said, "Yep, my daughter, my little daughter, she thinks Fluttershy is the best pony. Yep. And if I was going to get that tattoo in the future, it had to be Fluttershy, or she wouldn't love me."
Yeah. Well, again, she gets to choose my next tattoo, and she said Fluttershy, so that's what I got.
And I kind of looked at it, and I said,
best biker dad ever.
Yeah, and I kind of says, "That doesn't look like it's a temporary tattoo." And he goes, "Do I look like the kind of guy who have a temporary tattoo?"
No, sir.
And I kind of said, "And you look like the kind of guy who wouldn't take any crap for having Fluttershy on your arm either."
Damn straight. There we go. And so there we go. And given us almost at the end of the half hour, I'm going to take just a quick moment. I'm going to say thank you to our sponsor because we have a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Once an hour, that's the deal. I want to say thank you to University Arts, a high-end art supply store who keeps Barron supplied with art supplies. They have branches in Sacramento and Redwood City and San Jose, California. High-end framing shop, museum quality stuff that will keep your art preserved and nice 100 years from now, long after you are dust. Knowledgeable employees who know what the hell they're doing because they're artists themselves, not on commission, so they will tell you, the right materials that you need, not the expensive materials. They have workshops, they have seminars, they have craft fairs, they have all that good stuff. It's not just an art store, it's a community. They also occasionally loan us some of their employees to come over and be guests, like Jaya King from last week. Used to be a University Art employee. So did Barron, for that matter.
And
put up with those guys for a while.
And Joanne, who was in the live audience last weekend, she was a former University Art employee too. Now she's an art instructor.
Nice. So thank you to University Art for putting up with Barron for 20 years.
Yeah.
They sometimes lurk, to which we say, "Hi, Mike. Hi, Jeff."
I don't know if they're lurking tonight because yesterday was their one-day sale.
Yeah, they're probably taking a breather. Yeah. So anyway, duty is done. Hooray! Yes. Tweet, tweet. There.
And I'm not gonna be able to get this all done before the break, but I'll get this to the point where I can finish it up like tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, that was again the guy that did the page from the Book of the Dead, Jeff Bramschreiber.
Yep.
Who used to be Barron's boss.
Yep.
And again, so he's a.
Well, he was my second. Mike was my boss, but yeah, Jeff was the assistant manager.
Right, your shift supervisor, as it were.
Yep.
Yeah. So and Jeff did a page from the Book of the Dead using Egyptian period materials. And Egyptian period techniques. It's been very well researched. He says he's not an expert. That's BS. Mm-hmm. He knows what the hell he's doing. And. And that's, not only is it fascinating art, he has a lot of cool stories too. So.
Yeah, we probably have him back on in the fall again.
Yeah. Actually, probably we have photographic evidence. Tyler's real life girlfriend, Miriam, cosplays Maud Pie absolutely perfectly. She gets into character. She stays in character for hours. And there's a video of them arm wrestling, and she threw him halfway across the room.
Well, the most amazing thing watching her do Maud was watching her play Cards Against Humanity and stay in character.
Yeah, again, with a straight face and the Stephen Wright delivery.
Yes.
The entire thing.
One of the things I really do hope they'll eventually do, because Maud supposedly does stand-up. I want to see an episode where they have Maud doing stand-up comedy. I can just imagine the Stephen Wright pony delivery.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. She's secretly Ursa from Superman 2. Yeah, oh yeah. When she arm wrestles the guy guy in the bar, and he's not quite as much leather though.
No.
Yeah, it was from a convention they did. It was a skit thing that they did, but yeah. So no, it's a Maud Pie is a force of nature.
Yeah.
So is Miriam. They're great.
Yeah.
They are the perfect couple.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, it is 6:28, so we have a couple more minutes.
Yep. Let me know when the 6:30 comes around. I'll switch out. We'll take a break and then come back.
tiny.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, let's say Lego. You could hunt down. I think it's Snowflake IRL is his Twitter name. I think it's somewhere in his in his media history. Sora would like to know who is next.
Next up is going to be Masked Matterhorn. 'Cause I've not drawn her yet. And then after that, I was thinking about doing an Anthro version of the Maniac. I've done the Maniac, but I have not done her Anthro, so I'm thinking about doing that. And then for the last hour, I was going to probably throw it out to you folks and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing Power Ponies. What would you want at that point? Don't tell me now.
Yep.
Don't tell me now. Wait.
You got a couple
for it.
hours to think about it.
Chew over it. All right, why don't we switch it?
Yeah, wouldn't every punchline be a rock?
Let's switch cameras here.
Sweet. Alrighty.
Yes.
Okay, folks. So end of the first hour. Yeah, Anthromania.
Yes.
Yeah,
Woo!
West Coast. Indeed, we are. Hello.
Mhm.
Yeah. Welcome back, Milu.
Yes, glad you could join us.
Yeah. So we're going to take our 5-minute break.
Mm-hmm.
Time for you guys to go be biological. Time for Baron to get up and stretch. Otherwise, I give him the hairy eyeball, and I tell
Yeah.
Smudge on him, and then she gives him the hairy
Hey,
eyeball.
I've been this last stream with Smudge. I made sure she got up every hour.
Very good.
Mr. Who, are you new? I don't remember seeing
Mr.
Who.
Mr. Who. Oh, Mr. Who.
Yeah.
I think we've seen Mr. Who once
Well-
or twice, but either welcome or welcome back as appropriate to you. But now we're going to take 5 minutes to get up and stretch. See you guys then.
Yep.
Pew. We are indeed back.
Yes, we are.
All righty. Let's see. You spell the name correctly. Looking at your which name? Lego. What'd you say? Snowflake IRL. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All righty. Yeah, there we go.
Reach. Somehow we need to come up with some kind of more rational.
Yeah, so I've been shopping around for that kind of thing. You know, the piano is big and it dominates everything. So anyway, folks, hour number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to be drawing what, are you?
I mean, drawing the Masked Matterhorn.
That works for me, laddie.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Twilight Sparkle character from,
That's right.
From the Power Ponies.
Which is actually one of the more awkward costume designs when you really start looking at it.
Yeah, it was not. It was.
So I've been chewing over my head how exactly I want to make that look good.
Yeah. So, anyway, then, did you want to get right into it then? Or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. How's your?
Brandy Alexander?
Not quite done with it yet.
Oh, well, hang on here a second.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
No,
was a cue.
Now, do remember, I'm driving tonight.
Yeah. So you get 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna fill you full of burgers later on.
Yep.
All right.
And since I figure out I'm going to want to roll out a little bit earlier because you're going to need to go to work tomorrow and I have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, again, I set my own schedule.
Okay, well, still.
No,
Okay.
It's as long as you're the hell out of here by 1 in the morning. You know. Engineer hours, what do you
Yeah.
expect? And so I go 1, 2, 3, push.
Yes. And I change classes.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, push.
Ah.
By the way, for anyone who is new, I have to wear 2 different types of glasses. One for looking at the monitor and driving, and I can draw with them, but these are my studio glasses. If you don't see me put my studio glasses on,
You're empowered
To-
to nag and scold like you're a school marm.
yes.
All right, so let's go back to here. And we got this, and we got that, and so, so here we go. There we go. Okay, so we'll take a shot of this, which is relatively inexpensive brandy. It does not have to be the good stuff. And we'll take shucka, a shot of that. That is the Dorda.
I'm going to do her being a little more playful than we usually might think of at Twilight.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's going to be cosplaying and she's going to send this to Flash Sentry or something.
Yeah, just a tease.
Yes.
Yeah, guess what you're not getting?
Yeah.
You're cruel. And then a shot of cream, the good stuff. That's thicker than paint.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And now the fun part. the egg. Ooh. Okay, let's see if we can do this without making a mess.
Or turning it into an orange Julius.
Yeah. Again, you have to crack it carefully so that the yolk will stay put and the skin of the yolk does not get pierced.
Mm-hmm.
Cut. There we go. There we go. Ah, isn't that lovely, folks? Just the yolk is all that's left. That goes over into the trash. Then I grab the other half with a cup.
And this is a Boston shaker, right?
Yes, the 2-part shaker. And I go, sugar.
The Fox. One. Are you new here? Is this your first time tuning in?
Yeah, we'll say if so, welcome. If not, then welcome back. In the meantime, we're getting Baron fixed up with some brain lubricant.
Yep.
This is a Brandy Alexander, known to some as the milkshake, because it has 1 shot of brandy, 1 shot of cream de cocoa, 1 shot of cream. It's optionally an egg white. Shake the hell out of it over ice, and you end up with something like this. There you go, sir.
Thank you. It looks a little bit light right now because I'm just putting in my very, very basic construction lines. We'll start tightening this up in just a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, as I say, Baron, when he does his initial layout stuff, is really, really, really light. You are an unfrequent viewer. Well, welcome back. Yeah, what he said. Diane, that is some thick cream. Yep, it's the 36% fat stuff, which is, that's the good stuff. If you're going to do it all the way.
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to try experimenting with to see before Clear Skies comes out for BabsCon is if I can learn how to properly make a real Irish coffee for him. Because I have to admit, I've kind of watched him at some restaurants at conventions order an Irish coffee. I'm going, that's not an Irish coffee.
Well, there's more to it than just coffee with a shot of something alcoholic. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
At least if you're going to do it right.
Yeah, and
Yeah. For a moment, I thought Kara's holding a red Christmas cap. No, it's just a red towel. Yeah. Spilled a couple of drops of drinky stuff onto my piano stool.
Can't have that. Take care of your equipment.
Wow. So JoJo would like to know what your overall thoughts on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
You should talk to my wife. She is the JoJo fanatic. I have caught some episodes of it. It is very, very surreal. That's the best way I would describe it. She has a character now on FF14 that is a pugilist, and she was able to find a pompadour hairdo for the character that makes him, her look like a character out of JoJo. It has like that Japanese high school gangster, got this long pompadour.
Structural pompadour, you know the type.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the trick I have to figure out how to do. Oh, hey, hi, Clear Skies.
Hey, we were just talking about you. Nothing good, I assure you.
Yeah, yeah. For folks, Clear Skies here. He is the creator of the Rowan RPG game. That on the 28th of March, him and I are going to be hosting a special stream here about the game and talking about what we're going to be doing at BabsCon, because we've got a vendors hall table, we've got a panel we're doing a game demo. But yeah, the trick I need to figure out how to do is how to pour the chilled cream over the back of the spoon to get the right layer.
Well, the reason to do that, and you hold the spoon upside down so that the edge of the spoon is just like 1/8 of an inch above the top of the surface, so that when the liquid that you're pouring falls in, it has as low a velocity as possible. It tends not to dive down into the drink. It'll settle at the surface.
Also, apparently, it's a matter of temperatures too. You have to make sure the glass is hot. Your drink, of course, is hot. Because I tried making one recently. I forgot you have to put hot water into the mug first and let it sit for a few minutes before you pour it in. I'll probably actually get some Pyrex glasses, because it's kind of nice if you can see that layer of cream on the surface.
All right, we shall see you later, Mr. Salami Showdown.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Glad you can make it. We'll be doing this again on this Saturday, starting at the same time. But it'll be Saturday, not Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my regular schedule.
Yep, looking down the list, say for names here that may be new, I think Flusonics has been here before. Welcome back, whichever works for you. Monbai, I think you're new. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do we have here who may be new? Speak up.
Yes, we're a friendly group.
Yep, remember Valor from earlier? Yeah. Say hello.
Oh, hello, Mumba. Mumba, glad you could join us.
Yep. So, does the stream on the 28th replace the one on the 31st? Yeah, pretty
Yep,
much.
Because we're going to be at BabsCon.
Yeah, the 31st BabsCon weekend. You know, again, come out to BabsCon here. Maybe you can see Baron drawing live. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, one thing I plan to be doing at the table for the game demo, like I did last year, is anyone who is playing in the game, I will be doing bust drawings of your characters.
yeah. So, clear size, guys. Should I bring Garrett back? Aye, should I bring Garrett back? Cause a little bit of trouble, aye. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. The ponies. Who do you think has the closest personality to the DC characters? Well, the Teen Titans are
Yeah.
are a pretty ponish bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to say Raven because that's too obvious. Same voice actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, they recently, by the way, the reason was a death battle, thing. Twilight Sparkle versus Raven. You know, same voice actress, just a coincidence. So, let's see, they've done Starscream versus
Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash.
And Starscream lost.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, of course, he's a loser anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They did Deadpool versus Pinky, and that went off into the weeds.
It would.
Well, it was just the joke's like, why are we fighting? We're both awesome. You know. And you're gonna have to go off and see who won the Twilight Sparkle versus Raven. Raven battle yourselves. Yeah. So. Yeah. Be careful, Clear Skies. I'll bring the Warhammer. Was there a limited edition Roan handbook? Roan rulebook? You tell me, Robert. You tell me, Clear Skies.
I don't believe there was, not to my knowledge.
Yeah, but yeah. Hey.
I mean, the limited edition was the fact that we got it out. We got it out on time.
Well, Agni, actually, the reason that they said that Starscream, lost was that most of his powers were anti-electrical.
Yep, and mechanical.
Yeah, and anti-mechanical, and
Rainbow Dash
is biological. And and Starscream's
a loser.
He's a loser. He has power, and he can't make use of it. And he tried to dogfight with Rainbow Dash. Yeah, good luck with that. So yeah. So yeah, say those guys. There's like, yeah, more ponies. You doing this again? Yeah, we're doing it again. Yeah, they're so brony.
Yeah. Thanks, Japan. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Best line from the Starscream battle.
Yeah. Well, Dorian, you've got a source right here. Prep time because he's Batman. Oh my god.
And what we're also hoping is by the time BabsCon rolls around, BronyCon will have made their announcement on the vendors hall, and we'll be able to tell people at BabsCon, yes, we have a table at BronyCon. Because, Clear Skies is not sitting on his laurels and just, has their own rule book. He's working on the next expansion book, and he's got a couple other cool things there in the pipeline that I'm not going to say because they're cool and they're secret at the moment.
Do love the IDW Transformers MLP. Oh yeah. Oh, IDW gets it. Well, and I think it's their biggest selling title.
Now I think it is.
I don't know if it still is, but it certainly was for a while. For a while, it busted top 10 national all genres, all comics.
Yeah.
You know,
Take that.
And the boys at Marvel and DC and Dark Horse are like, but that belongs to us. You know,
Earn it.
You know, it's kind of like the first time that a non-Disney animated short subject won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Subject. That was Disney property.
Well, it was also the fact the first time
That was Cat Concerto.
a California wine beat a French wine.
That was back in the 70s.
Yeah, and then
The Parliament launched an inquest. They were talking to find out who rigged it or who threw the contest and throwing them in jail.
and then they found out no, it just
No.
was the case. The wine was better.
Yeah, exactly.
So they doubled down on their game and got better. That's what competition will do for you in the right circumstances.
Yeah. Next death battle is JoJo character versus Kenshiro. So your wife's going to love that.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to show it to her.
Yeah. Yeah, Matterhorn has quite a bit of matter and mass in that flank. And das ist proven.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more cushion for the pushing.
Yes, but she doesn't have quite as much of a rack as Rarity does. I always do her a much slimmer build.
One of the very first, like we're talking like 1996, Flash animations that that made it, you know, into public consciousness was a parody of the Backstreet Boys called the Snack Treat Boys, called "I Want a Fat Babe." And it's still a riot, you know, because again, it
Was that Big Ben on campus who did that cover?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't believe. Maybe I don't know. I do not follow that genre, but you know, even back then, but it was a riot. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh yes, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. There was, for a while back in furry fandom, Jim Grote, Mitch Marmel, geez, I forget who else. They did the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fatties, which was, you know, they just got up on stage in tutus with cigars and Fidel Castro hats and did bad ballet.
Very bad ballet.
Yeah, it was amazing and scarring, and it was great.
Best viewed after you'd had a couple pints.
Yeah, you're one of the four. I'm number 5. Yeah. Ora, you're already dead. Nani?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Fox. You know, like I said, Baron, I stole the way you draw horse faces, but I am crediting you. It's like the difference between a good artist and a great artist is how well they steal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
And
yeah,
that's
everybody borrows from everybody, and it's totally
Yeah.
cool.
And I find it, you know, actually very flattering that you've adapted to, my style, because I know a lot of people just kind of look at I have no clue how this is working out. It looks cool, but I don't know how you're doing this. I've had several professionals back when we were working on one project for some concept design. Smudge had to do a whole bunch of cliff notes for the animator saying, "This is how you draw like my husband," because I was doing a lot of my emotes in reverse to traditional animation. I discovered it's like, oh,
Yeah.
well.
Mvulu, if you were, he says, you know, can't draw 1/10 as well. Well, you would have to be drawing at least 5 years to do that. Baron has been drawing literally for about 50 years.
Yeah.
Since he was old enough to grab a Sharpie and start doodling on himself.
18 months old when I started drawing,
Yep.
and I'm past half a century.
Yep. We're old.
Yeah.
Well, sitting here telling you some old man stories from, you know, back in my day.
Yeah. I remember when.
Cheapest gasoline I remember is 34 cents a gallon.
Cheapest gas cheapest gas I can remember is 48.
I think I see somebody new.
Who's that?
Azumi Haruki. Have you been here before? No. Welcome or welcome back, whichever works for you.
We're friendlies.
Always on the eye for new folk. If you're new,
Say
raise
hi.
a hand, say hi. Say we're going to say hi right back at you because you can't escape.
And this is a friendly audience. We like welcoming folks.
Yeah.
Old man stories, those old man stories.
Thin that down there a little bit. Thin that in. There we go. That's better.
Baron is actually amazing for making Granny Smith beautiful in a gala dress.
Yeah.
She's not old, she's aged beauty. Why, back in her day, she was a bathing queen.
Yeah, I need to actually get around to getting back to doing more of that one dream I had that one night that Bettina showed me, like in the staging area before we were supposed to go to the Equestria Dreamscape, which was the all Anthro MLP action adventure like Avengers thing, where Granny Smith, because the magic was going weird in the world, went in to have basically some new cartilage magically regrown in her joints, and the spell backfired, and she ended up being like about 28 again.
Let's see, I think we have a new champ here. Lulu says, well, if that case, you have to start when you're 12. Yep. 20 cents a gallon. Not bad. Not bad. Now, my earliest memory, and I have verified this, and I described it to my older sister. She's, almost 20 years my senior. She was the first. I was the surprise. I remember. It's just like this still. It's almost in black and white. No color to it. There is a room with hardwood floor and wood paneling. On the left side in the corner is a brick fireplace. On the right side in the corner is the old, black and white TV. There's one of those hand-woven oval-shaped rugs, and there's, leather furniture, leather couch on the left, and a coffee table with lathe-turned spindly legs, and everybody is staring at the.
Hi, Heskar.
Hey-o. And everybody's staring at the TV, and everybody's really, really upset. And on the TV is a sad lady, and she's bending over and lighting a torch. And I described that to my sister, and she's like, "That's our house back in Kansas. That was the lighting of the eternal torch by Jackie Onassis." Kennedy had just, been assassinated. I was only a few weeks old. So she's like, actually, yeah. And again, I don't remember anything until about 4 years old after that.
I have the earliest fleeting memories I have.
See you later, Clear Skies.
Yes, is a Marine saying, "Kid, could you please get out of the helicopter?" And there's a story behind
that. Is so barren.
There is a story behind that. When I was about 2 years old, my dad took me to an air show at El Toro Air Base, Marine Air Corps Air Base, down in Southern California. Some of you folks may know of El Toro. And by the way, El Toro looks absolutely nothing like the air base that got shot up in Independence Day.
Well, not anymore. It don't.
It's not around, period. But even back then, it didn't. No, that looked like nothing like what El Toro looked like. So we were walking around. My dad was carrying me around the flight line, showing me all the planes. And there was this helicopter. And I cannot remember the make of helicopter, but I remember they were kind of letting people on board. My dad took me on board the helicopter, and apparently I was just loving it, and I thought this was great.
Cool hiding places and everything.
Yeah, and the corporal there kind of said, hey, little kid, do you want to see the cockpit? And I went, apparently, yeah. So he took me up the cockpit, and he sat me down in the pilot's seat, and I thought this was great. And somewhere in my little head, I figured because he'd sat me down in the pilot's seat,
you could play with the controls.
I owned the helicopter.
It was yours.
Yeah, it was mine because he'd given it to me. And so I was there for a few minutes, and then he said, you need to get out of the seat now, kid. And
No.
I started throwing a conniption. He was trying to get me out of the seat. Let's not cause a scene here. My dad was saying, Baron, you need to get out of the seat. Baron, he was kind of laughing as he was watching this Marine. And I was
and the Marine was no match.
Yeah, and I was making more and more noise, and people were going, "What's going on inside that helicopter?" And more Marines were showing up at the and
took a whole squad to get you out.
And finally, the master sergeant apparently showed up and says, "What's going on here?" And I was like, "Hey, hey,
Yeah.
And my son's claimed some U.S. property here as his now, and he says, and of course, this poor corporal is absolutely flustered and figures he's probably going to be sent, to KP duty for a year or so because of this. And apparently the sergeant came in and sat down in the co-pilot seat next to me and talked to me for a while because he was a dad himself, and eventually talked me out, talked me down and talked me off the
We have to take the helicopter to see its mechanic.
yeah, and,
Otherwise, it can't fly.
yeah, and eventually talked me down. But yeah, that's why I have these fleeting memories of men in uniform being very confused, young men trying to figure out how to get this screaming kid out of their helicopter. So that's the story I have.
well, that's better than kid. Can you please put the pin back in
The
the
grenade.
grenade? Yeah. So, so there's a query for Baron. What was your breakthrough into professional art? When did you get it into your head that when did you first have actual evidence that you're going to be a professional artist?
As far as what convinced me it was the path I wanted to pursue it, or when I first said, "Hey,"
When you first were able to say, "I'm a professional artist."
when I was going to say I was a professional artist, that would have been in 1987. I did some.
Hey, Widget.
I did some illustration work for a local newspaper. I did some basically clip studio, like those little spot illustrations they were going to use over and over again for a part of the newspaper. And it was getting that paycheck and going, I just got paid for this.
Somebody that you didn't know gave you money to do an art.
Yep.
And then they used it in their business.
And it was kind of an interesting period because it was a short time for a while where I almost was able to make a flat living on just doing that. You do these, local newspaper ad, pay you $50. Local newspaper illustration, pay you $100. Local magazine, pay you, $60. And if you start adding up these, black and white illos at the end of the month, it's like, well, I just made like $600. And back in 1987, you could almost live in Santa Clara County on that kind of money. So I was like, oh, okay. And I had a day job. So that was about the closest. The thing that told me I wanted to be a professional artist was watching the Imperial Star Destroyer go over my head in Star Wars: A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I had been building models and thinking about models. I've been drawing, of course, but building models was my big thing. And then
that was the ultimate.
Wait a minute. There's guys who like not just built the models but designed what the models were going to look like. Oh, I so want to be on board with that. And that was what kind of convinced me, no, I'm going to be a professional artist somehow, someday.
Yeah. So, again, that was when the torch was lit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Dayton Wright or Dayton Air Force Museum or?
No, it's one of the places
Pratt,
It's one of my places on my aviation exodus or like pilgrimages I need to do. Same way I want to go to Oshkosh some year.
Lou says he was stationed in Sunnyvale for a decade 1 year. Would that be for a decade 1 year? Yeah, he was studying the time dilation experiments.
But
that would be the blue cube?
Yeah, I have to do the blue cube.
Well, it was either the blue cube or the 338th National Guard Armory.
If it was Air Force, unless it was Navy, then it could just be a Moffett.
I think Moffitt's Mountain View.
Moffett Ames. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The blue cube was in Sunnyvale. Moffett was in Mountain View. Basically,
and my dad was stationed in Moffett in the mid-50s.
Right, because the city lines like split like the runway or something.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny because back when back in the mid-50s, again, my parents lived in Cupertino. Actually, at the time, it was unincorporated Monte Vista. That particular place. While my dad was stationed in Moffett, he flew at the time P-3 Orions,
P-3 Orion,
P-3s and P-2s, sub hunting.
Yeah, he did Neptunes and Orions.
Yeah, and that was I got the address, out of my sister, and it was Alpine right off of Foothill.
Oh. Okay.
Not
that far where we used to live.
100 yards.
Whoa.
So that apartment complex, Alpine was a little court, a little side street right off of Foothill Boulevard, and the apartment complex that's Baron and Dave and I and Smudge and others.
Drew and Jareth lived in.
Lived in it. You know, the Foothill Village Apartments was right across the street from that. So I was less than 100 yards from where my dad lived and my folks lived in the 50s. You know, 40 years later.
Yeah, small world.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yep.
60
Blue Cube, Onizuka Air Force Base.
Yep.
It is, which has now been knocked down, and Yahoo's there.
Yep. And hello, Rainbow. Welcome back.
You know, the only shop that goes longer is Baseball One. Yeah.
Yeah. I break for nothing.
Yeah. Rainbow 21, you're still streaming on Sunday. Yeah, it's a special show.
Special show.
Uh-oh. Channeling Toxic Mario. What's your favorite movie ending?
Movie ending.
Movie ending. Well, near the end of the movie, my favorite, I would say one of my all-time favorite, you know, just 10 seconds in a film, right towards the end of a movie, sounds like this. Boom, boom, boom. Get away from her, you bitch!
Yes.
And saw Aliens opening night. Again, I would say best action movie ever. And the audience was wound up because it was such a roller coaster ride. And here comes Sigourney Weaver out there
In the freight loader.
You know, the mom that has had her cub threatened, and everyone just jumped to their feet. You know, every man, woman, and child. You know, doesn't care what age they were. You know, don't care if they were a tough guy. You know, there was Sigourney Weaver. You know, you know, it's like. Everybody was just in love at that moment and just cheered, yeah! You know, and got an absolutely epic fight that followed, and it's just so good.
We'll get to
so
it.
Good.
We'll get to that, Prow.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Good night, JoJo.
I think they secretly hired him. Yeah, Tolstoy, the Kyushu, the Melbourne. Yeah. So.
That would have to be one of my.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to admit, once again, going back to Star Wars, that whole scene where Luke's the last one, he's heading down the trench. Darth has him in his sights, and then suddenly Han comes down, basically,
let's blow this thing and go home, kid.
Yeah. Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. Yeah, I was just bouncing in my seat when that happened. Like I said, that was very much,
yeah,
a movie for my generation.
Yeah, what race of pony is Ripley in Ponyverse? She's got to be Earth Pony.
Yeah, got to be Earth Pony.
Because she is salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Actually, I need to simply get back to that for my people on Patreon, because I had that MLP Aliens dream that one night with basically Zecora as taking the role of Ripley.
Oh, illustration you've got to do. You know, I'll save it for the request. I'll save it for the request.
Yes.
Maybe it'll make it.
Sweetie
We'll
Sweetie Belle's Newt.
Yeah, there you go.
Because she can scream high enough.
Yeah. Let's see. 5 minutes. Going down the list here. Yeah, definitely Earth. That's just
given.
So right. Yeah. I used to deliver airline tickets to the Blue Cube. Actually, we had a friend that worked in the Blue Cube. He was a civilian contractor for Lockheed. That was Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he worked there. For
ever
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
He originally worked for Loral.
Yep.
And then
Space Systems Loral, and then Sweetie Newt. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you heard Sweetie Belle as nude. Well, of course they don't wear any clothes.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, although they're, you have to go to Fur Affinity, because DeviantArt was like, well, we're very sorry, but we kind of have this policy. There is a picture of Sweetie Belle with her base, the Anthro Sweetie Belle, aged up, etc. With her base, and you notice I did, and that was it. And you notice I didn't say any clothes.
Because it says boots and gloves.
Yeah, and of that series, that's my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah,
yeah. Because again, she just looks like she's the most comfortable in that.
Well, I thought it was like Apple Bloom came out pretty good too in hers. She's got that smug look. But yeah, Sweetie Belle came out really, really good in that. And yeah, that are on Patreon. In fact, most of those, I got some more that are going to be coming up. They're all going to go on Patreon for my patrons because, it's like can't put them up on DA, even though I am tempted to do that series of pictures. One with Sweetie Belle with the t-shirt that says 250, and then Apple Blue one says 248, and then there was one other one that could have been used and have Scootaloo wearing the other number on the t-shirt. Those were the rules.
Yep.
The DA said, nope, can't do this. I'm like, okay, it's your place.
Did L'Oreal buy up Goodyear Aerospace? Probably. There's been so much consolidation.
Yeah,
in the defense
mergering.
industry. Yeah, too much.
Mm-hmm.
Someone say he thinks that The Wrinkle in Time is a cookbook, and that the Oscar he was nominated for was for Best Old Man, which he lost to Gary. All we know is he's not the Stig because he's Baron Engel.
And that would be Larsis. Welcome, Larsis.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Indeedy. How's the sound? Yeah, a Larsis, by the way, does live sound for a living. So,
Yeah.
you know.
So when Larsis says we should do something, we listen to Larsis because Larsis
Right.
knows what he's doing.
When I'm evil overlord of the world, I will hire expert consultants, and when they tell me to do something, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I will not bring my my nemesis, to my secret volcano hideout to have them executed by sharks with lasers on their foreheads. A bullet in the forehead in a motel in in some
across my
third
borders.
world country will do just fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds good on your HD 800s and still sounds good on his Klipsch's. Very
Excellent.
good.
That's
Very
what we
good.
want to hear. Literally.
Validation, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Only a bit about L'Oreal because of the super prototype Goodyear blimp, the GZ22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could use a little more top end, but I've got this little slider right here. Okay, so I have an equalizer here. I'm giving it just a
Alright.
little bit more
Tweaky,
at
tweaky, tweaky.
6.3K and at 2.5K, leaving it the same at 10K. How is this now, Larsis? Just gave it about 3 dB more.
Yep.
Heard that at BC, the satellite tracking was done with strips of paper. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if it's satellites are pretty damn predictable.
Mm-hmm.
You know where they're going to be. There you go.
All right.
Sounds good now. Okay, well, it's almost flat. So in that case, the EQ is almost flat, except that I've got it down by about 6 dB
Okay, let's
on the
switch.
63 hertz band, and by maybe 1 dB at the 120 hertz.
All right,
band.
Deathlight, you have a great evening. Thanks for dropping by.
It has that sparkle. Twilight sparkle. See you later, Mr. Deathlight.
Thanks for tuning in. I mean, for everyone who's tuning in, because this is Sunday night. I know you guys, usually, hey, Saturday nights when we set time aside for Baron, and you guys all showed up on Sunday. So thank you very much. That means a lot, actually. We were kind of guessing that. Well, how many people think we're going to have show up? Well,
Yeah, it's about 2/3 normal. It's like, nope, we're doing as good as we ever do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of thanks,
Yes, it's time for a thank you.
there it is. Time for a thank you. So I'm going to grab the mouse here, and I'm going to go down to here, and I'm
Go
going to
click.
I'm going to click on that, and I'll click on that, and I'll click on that, because it's time to say thank you to our sponsor, University Art, a high-end art supplies store that keeps Baron supplied with art supplies. Thank you. University Art is a art supply and framing store with branches in Sacramento and Redwood City and San Jose, California. They have an excellent framing shop, museum quality. Your artwork will look great long after you are being eaten by earthworms. Yeah, there's a good image for you. They
Great visuals there,
yeah,
dude.
perfect. Yeah, it's just what they want to be associated with. Hi Jeff.
Hi, Mike.
Hi Mike. I'm promoting you real good, ain't I?
Yeah. Give me more stuff, please.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so they say they have a very knowledgeable staff who are all artists themselves. They're not on commission, meaning that they can give you their honest opinion and give you the right thing, not the expensive thing. They have seminars, they have workshops, they have craft fairs, they have all kinds of good stuff. Not just an art store, not just a framing store, they are a community. So thank you to University Art for sponsoring Baron. Thank you for occasionally loaning us some of your excellent art staff to come and make arts as guest artists. And our duty is done for the next hour, so thank you.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, click.
And by the way,
One, two, three, click.
I'm going to say something right now because, I actually got a bong on my machine over here. If anything I'm working on tonight, you go, oh my gosh, I have to have that. Guess what? I do this for a living, so
You can have it. All you
all
got to
this.
do is
Now,
send the check.
but you've got to contact, not to say, I want in the chat. You gotta send me a message somewhere. Now, someone's already sent me a message for this one, so this one's already.
This one's spoken for.
This one's spoken for. But
Yeah.
send me
DeviantArt, Twitter.
my Smudge Marks and Ingleworks. Send me there or an email. We have a Twitter. But yeah, I need something in writing as far as a confirmation. I'm gonna take this.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, Baron is a full-time artist.
I am on the clock.
Yeah, he is on the clock right now. This is his job.
I have a car loan
is
due
part
this
of
week.
this is part of his, mere 50 hours, 60 hours a week of art type stuff.
Yeah.
So he's at work.
Yeah.
Please bother him at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just remind folks, Baron has a Patreon. It is the foundation of his income.
It's the reason why I was
Yeah.
able to make the break in 2015.
Yeah, so again, you can see the address right there on the little logo in the lower portion of the screen there. So give him $1, give him $2,
Yeah.
buy him a coffee.
Yeah. You may go, hey man, what will $1 a month do you? If everybody on DeviantArt gave me $1, life
See you
would
later,
be,
Fox.
be much, much better. Yes, thank you for dropping by.
Yeah. Yeah, Sakana's like, yeah, you showed up there on Friday. Well, Sakana is way ahead of the curve here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely, Fox. See, no worries. No worries at all. So,
Like I say, I'm just honored you guys decided to take, 4 hours of your night, your evening out to hang out and watch me scratch a pencil over paper.
scrapey.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here. Have a stream coming coming Saturday? That is correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
Well-
Because that would be the normal stream.
Yeah. That stream will probably be working primarily on Patreon rewards.
Yep.
That's going to be a Patreon reward night.
Yeah, we're on daylight saving time. Yeah. Good old US. Yeah. Can't resist messing with the clocks. Yeah. Still like the idea of Rosemary as nose art on a B-36. Yeah, and then she can also be the pilot with nose art of herself.
Yes. Well, I did do a picture of her once with an SR-71.
Yeah. SR-71, Darth Vader's hot rod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah. Better entertainment than anything on TV these days.
Yeah.
That's not setting a high bar.
Yeah. Now,
No.
compared to Critical Role on Geek Sundry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we love Critical Role.
Yeah.
We love Matt Mercer. Matt Mercer's my waifu.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Mm-hmm.
Best character so far, this campaign,
Not.
Jester. Them's feuding words.
Boy, I go
I
back.
think it's got to be Jester because she just has so many great ways of looking at life.
I do like her way of talking to her god through her sketchbook.
Yeah.
That's a very ingenious way. But I have to admit, I have something of a weak spot for Not.
Oh, Not's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, actually, without giving too much away, if you're really worried about all Critical Role spoilers, cover your ears for the next 30 seconds. It's Critical Role spoiler in 3, 2, 1. Jester briefly meets the Traveler in the most recent episode in a very touching little scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now it's just the relationship between Jester and the Traveler is just adorable. And that's her god.
Yeah.
But it is the most adorbs thing ever. Okay, say spoiler alert off. You are now safe to return.
Mm-hmm.
So how about that local sports team?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you, Widget. Maybe we'll see you in a bit. Hit it with a hammer.
If nothing else, it'll make you feel better.
Yep. Speaking of Arizona, has anybody had a chance to play them's Fighting Herds? Well, I've got it, but I need to get a controller.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a game you have to have a controller.
Yeah, again, it's a fight game there, but I'll get a couple controllers and I'll put it on the downstairs TV sometime.
Yeah.
We'll kick the snot out of each other as cute fuzzy animals.
Yes.
And we'll be pathetic.
Oh yeah.
We'll get Mike the microphone to come down and he'll be like,
laugh.
"Oh God, you guys suck."
Here, let me show you. Give me that before you hurt yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I say Mike's stuff is great. Yeah, he's he's up to 500 subscribers now.
500K, isn't it?
No, well, 500 subscribers.
That's true.
Paid subscribers.
That's true.
On Twitch. So again, he's
He's
up
paying
in
his
Sacramento. Yeah, he's living on his own now, and you know, completely sustaining himself in his car and everything like that, and keeping himself, you know, fed and a little bit. Oh, and the microphone company Blue, that do, you know, like, you know, the Blue Yeti and a bunch of, they do
Yeah.
they do a bunch of you know, of good microphone gear. They've picked him up as
Oh,
as a
really?
sponsorship. So they're just like loading him
Cool.
down with all of their good stuff. Their $1,000 microphones,
Yeah.
you know. So he's using them live, and it's like, oh, hey, check this out, you know. So yeah, so local boy makes good.
Yeah. He's also been
Yeah.
going through and setting up his area with a much better sound
Yeah.
insulation and everything too.
Yeah. Generic Avatar, yes, Fighting Herds is indeed on Steam. Go buy it.
Yes.
Yeah, as of the 22nd.
Yep, it is. I backed it on Kickstarter,
Mm-hmm.
not because I wanted a fighting game, but it's because I wanted to see the project go to completion.
Because you are a backer, not and you're not treating Kickstarter like a store.
Yep, and especially after
Yep.
you know Lauren kind of got her movie project yanked out from underneath her.
Yeah, well, which happens all the time in Hollywood.
It does. But
All right, see you later, Hulu. Say thank you for joining us.
yes.
Down, towards, A button, Hadouken. Yeah, there you go. Technically, it is under early access, but you can still buy it. Yeah, because again, they still have a couple of features they need to add.
Mm-hmm.
But it's totally playable now, and you know,
Arizona's
yeah,
adorable.
I mean, it's the only reason it's not complete is because they're going for extra features. You know.
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely. It was totally funny when Tara Strong voiced Pinkie Pie for Mad's My Little Warhorse. Oh yeah, that was way back when. I was like 2012.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, the early days.
Yeah, them ancient days. I'm telling you.
Back in my day. You had to wait at least 4 hours for some episode showed up on YouTube.
Yeah. Next up, we secretly upgrade Baron and Kara to a pair of U-87s for their seated positions. Oh yes, that would be a tragedy, would it not?
Yeah, darn. I wonder if that could ever possibly happen.
Yeah, although the mics that we're using right now, it's a budget mic. It's made by a company called Movo. We used to use the LV4s. These are LV6s.
And they're better.
They are better. They addressed several of the problems, you know, that
Including
I mean,
durability.
the LV4 wasn't bad. I mean, we used them for 18 months here. You know,
Good night, Annie Carrot.
see you. We used them for about 18 months here, and they were fine. But they had some shortcomings, you know, like no strain relief where the cord goes into the XLR jack, that kind of stuff. But you know, the cardioid pattern is tighter. You know, again, it got a little bit flatter response. I'm using a lot less gain to get the same, you know, to get the same, you know, the same basic, you know, sound and all that. So they're not nearly as hot. You know, running as hot there. They're still phantom powered, but the cord is longer, the leader cord. You know, they're just an improvement, and they're $54 each.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they fit in the budget.
Hell yeah. So, you know, again, for dirt cheap equipment, hey, good results, you know.
Thanks, Nazumi.
So, you know, Twilight's looking very tasty there, Baron, says Mizumi.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not a big fighting games, you know, person myself, but just the idea of the cute little critters, you know, kicking the snot out of each other, you got to do it. So.
And apparently, from people who actually play fight games, it's not a bad fight game.
Yeah, Blue Cube's Dimensions. Yeah, well, again, it was the NSA satellite downlink for the West Coast. That kind of stuff wouldn't be particularly well published, even though you could just like, you know, go take photographs because we're right next to the highway. You know, again, they pulverized it down to gravel.
Yes.
Because the other thing is that there was a lot of, you know, Tempest type stuff. You know, by that I mean, you know, the standard for preventing, you know, radio, you know, electronic signal leakage, where you can have a high gain antenna aimed at the building and pick up, you know, the scan lines on a CRT monitor and reproduce what people are saying. That was incredibly heavily shielded building, and they didn't want people to know what they did to do that. Yeah, I mean, obvious from the, you know, the obvious thing is the Faraday cage and all that, but how did they do it? You know, and they pulverized it down to pea-sized gravel, you know, before they hauled it away.
And they erected a whole bunch of screens and everything at different points when they were doing it. You can't see what we're doing behind this screen. And I'm pretty certain it wasn't just some plastic wrap or something like they probably tried bouncing something through. Like, nope, you're not getting through this.
Yep.
Yeah, the logos are working really, really good for us.
Yep. And now I get the mental image of somebody asking for a U-87 and ending up with a Sherman dive bomber. To say Junkers Ju-50,
87.
87, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fit, and we might be able to get the engine cowling in here, and that's about it. They couldn't fit all the prop. Get the
Yeah.
spinner.
Yeah. Say Pancake Princess is best cute princess. Well, that would be Princess Celestia making you breakfast.
Yeah.
Princess Celestia can make me breakfast anytime.
Yes.
Yeah. Pancakes and twy pancakes.
Yes.
Yeah. Baron, when you start a composition, do you already have an idea of where the lighting is going to come from, or do you tend to decide that as you build up the picture?
Sometimes I will know in my head I'll have basically a finished, including the shading and everything, what it's going to look like. Sometimes it will evolve a little bit. I'll have an idea and I'll start putting it together and go, no, wait a minute, it's going to work better if I do this, and I'll flip things around and everything. So it's an either-or case. In this case, I basically had kind of an idea what the finished picture was going to look like in my head before I started.
Yeah. Cake Princess Sunbutt versus Faceplant Pancake Princess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cold Silver, my turn to channel Toxic. Oh, he's gonna be so tickled when he gets here. It's like, yeah, you've been here for a couple hours and you didn't even realize it. What's your favorite Them's Fighting Herds character?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Because it's the closest to AJ.
Yeah, damn right, best damn pony.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Princess Celestia, who's a perfect pony.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Besides that, I like the story of Arizona too.
yeah.
The story of the character is nice.
Yeah.
Oleanders is interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, they're all great.
Lauren did a good job writing the world
Velvet's
building.
fun, it's all obvious you can map the characters one-to-one in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
But, fluffier rarity, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You that's not
The
like the bad
thing of
thing.
beauty and the vacuum Norsk excellence makes it more wunderbar.
Mm-hmm.
But not capes. You remember the great accident of 1997? That was a cape.
Yes.
That was Brad Bird that voiced Edna.
Yes.
Who was
in the
also
mode.
executive producer and one of the highest muckety mucks at Disney.
He also was the voice of
Yeah, of the
Max.
yeah, man.
Yes.
Miss Dimple.
Yeah. What does the kitty cat do?
Well, how does the kitty cat go?
Yeah.
Meow.
Good kitty.
I love the way his lips moved, but his teeth didn't.
Yeah, just great. And again, that was oddly enough Lauren Faust's. It was her second.
Yes.
Big thing. Her first one was she was an in-betweener, basically a grunt
In the trenches.
in Iron Giant,
Yep.
and she was the character lead for Sawyer, the lady kitty cat, lead in
Cats Don't Dance.
Cats Don't Dance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think afterwards, that was when she met Craig McCracken,
Mm-hmm.
and they worked together on Powerpuff Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I got married. She went off and did Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and then there was this weird horse thing.
Yeah.
So.
Then her and Kraken went off and did. Crystal went off and did Wander.
Yep. Really hope Edna returns for Incredibles 2. Oh, she's got to.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like M in James Bond. And again, we need more James Bond films because John Cleese is still here.
Mm-hmm. And I love The Incredibles. I love the soundtrack. We have the soundtrack for The Incredibles, and it's some wonderful Henry Mancini era jazz.
Oh yeah.
For it.
And the thing about The Incredibles is that it actually brings up some very important things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have these competing worldviews. And I was like, wait a minute, there's some actual meat here because, even the villain. I was like, he has a point.
Yes.
He is a villain for a reason.
Well,
And is his villainy because of his goals, his philosophy, or his methods?
Mm-hmm. But he has a cause and he has a reason for what he's doing. He's just not being evil to cackle and rub his hands together.
And those are the best villains.
Yes.
Because in another time and place, they could be you.
That's why, even though she's reformed now, Starlight is still the best villain I think they've ever had on MLP because she had a cause and she had a reason for what she was doing.
Yep.
And I was listening going, oh boy.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is that I found her. I mean, the Reformation. We're turning her back to from the dark side to the light side. It didn't happen instantly. It took half of an episode. Mm-hmm. With her very slowly coming around until she had that aha moment.
And I thought the end of season 7, where she was suddenly the voice saying, "Boy, I'm glad you gave me a chance." It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh yeah, you've walked a mile in those shoes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, again, I think she's the most complex character and therefore one of the most interesting characters in the entire series.
Yeah.
It is now 7:29.
Why don't we switch cameras? Like I say, I'll finish shading this up at home for folks.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now, unlike the Undermined, although we love him, voiced by Sean Ratzenberger. When everybody is special,
Nobody is.
special. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. We are going to take another 5-minute break.
Mm-hmm.
Do this. Oh, hey, Keep Easy Draw Stuff. Are you new? Well, you're here just in time for the intermission, which is 5 minutes.
We'll be back in 5. So please don't go. We'll be
Stay
back.
with us.
We're gonna be doing more artwork.
Most Lonesome Pony, Spoil Rich, and Sven Gallop. Yeah. All right, folks. 5 minutes.
Yep.
Go be biological. We'll see you soon.
Ditto.
No, we're not back. We're not back at all.
Yeah. This is our front.
Yeah,
Really.
Exactly.
We need to get that changed. Can we get that changed?
There you go. Well, you saw that. What happened with that shirt last week?
Okay.
Yeah. the one with the back panel was different. Yeah.
Yes. Every panel was different.
Indeed. Well, yeah, that was the whole point.
Okay.
All righty, folks. Hour 3 out of 4. We are halfway to the home stretch.
Yes.
So you have one more power pone to pone the power pone.
Well, at least I'm claiming the slot. The last hour will be up to you guys to choose. But yes, I have never done an Anthromaniac.
Sirrah, yeah. Maniac, yeah. All righty. So that sounds like you are set and ready to go. You got your blank piece of paper. Do you have the correct glasses on?
Nope, I haven't changed yet because I was still looking at the monitor.
Aha, yeah.
See?
See, uh-huh.
That's how it works.
We're just being a bastard.
Make it so.
But what about Humdrum? Well, we don't know what Humdrum looks like in the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Does anybody remember when I said I was taking my med? Oh, did you need a time thing? Let's see how far back I can scroll back. Let's see. I don't know if that's in the scroll back. I was like, let's see.
Okay, so we want.
Story. Let's go up. This is not in the scroll back buffer. It's the user list. I don't think the buffer goes back that far, but I will take a look. Scrolling.
Keep that wheel scrolling.
Yeah, I think it was sometime the first hour you mentioned that, but if you're looking for an exact time, that's good night. Clear sky. I will actually delegate this to one of you guys if you want to help Dorian out so he can, assuming he, to get the right time, go check your timestamps. Yeah. There's been some comic book portrayals of Humdrum, but they're still debatable. Yeah, I haven't seen those. So.
Yeah. And one of the things is that the show is canon, the books, like the novels, those are second canon, and my understanding is they treat the comics almost as alternate universe.
Yep.
In some cases, so you really can't take that like, oh, this is what they meant. Maybe not.
Cool. Welcome back, Widget. Was able to fix his network problem.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm starting on an Anthromaniac.
Yeah. Wish I did more with the real power ponies. Well, we'll see what happens. What happens. I mean, there's potential there.
Yeah.
Not the ones as played by the main 6, but within the comics world, which would still be ponies.
Yeah.
I mean, he got it as a comic that is published in Counterlot, so it's going to be Pones. Oh, your video was on pause and you didn't know. Yeah, I've done that too. So. Yeah. So the comics are the closest we get for that portrayal. Yeah, at least so far. At least so far.
Like I said, I still love the one where the human maniac meets the pony maniac. And the very end of it, you have Rainbow Dash looking at the comic going, this comic is just getting so weird.
Yeah. As are most.
The trick with the trick composition wise with this is I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. If you have the maniac, she's going to use up all available space on your page, but you want to have a composition that still looks good. And you know, she doesn't just walk around anywhere. She's got this.
She Doc Octopus's.
Yeah, she's got this minion army of hair. Never mind her army of minions, and I am positive all those guys are based off of people that the DHX people know who like work in theater or something. So just, my hair. It's like, oh.
You know, Rainbow described to us how a lot of comic stories, they all get weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, part of the reason for that is particularly in superhero comics, you always have to, can you top this?
Mm-hmm.
And after a few years, you know, again, you know, you are destroying and remaking universes routinely. You know, it's like, yeah, it's this, yeah, and even in the TV show, you know, MLP, can you top this?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm
You know,
I'm kind of happy that they've been at least a little bit moving away from, you know, this is the crisis to end the universe problem.
Yeah. Dr. Octagonopus, blah!
Yes.
Embrace the power, Ryan. Reach down deep within you. Yeah, again, that was a great little series. The guy that did it, you know, Dom Federic or something, he got tired of it eventually. It's understandable, but yeah, that was.
Well, when it was hot, it was hot.
Yep. Yep. Hey, Hui. Hui.
Yes. Batch
got
is back from camping.
How did the night go? And might be going okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Where
you
were you
happily-
camping?
Yeah. Yeah. Also want to see Saddle Rager really raging, as in you know, turn into all muscle girl.
Right. All ripped.
Yep. Give a man a fire, you warm him for a day, set a man on fire, and he's warm for the rest of his life. Yep. It's not a long life, but it is. You know, the technical statement is say as spoken. You know, read as written.
Mm-hmm.
You know, out come the rules lawyers. You know.
Details.
I think I remember saying it, but I'll say it again anyway. Welcome to KBZ Draw Stuff. What you drawing? Give us a link. As long as it's safe for work.
Yes, that's our only question.
Safe for work. Give us a link.
Yes. Yeah, we have folks
Show us
here
what
that are doing art themselves. We love sharing.
Yeah, let's see. Anybody else? Lazanor, I think you've been here before, but welcome back, whichever works for you. Who else do we have? Looking for new folk. If you're new, say give us a wave. We'll surf the wave right back. Original humdrum. LPWikiCom characters. Okay, well, let's take a look and see what that is. Click, loading, click.
Chicka. Ah.
Ah, okay. Perfect.
Yes.
You know, of course, the problem, the cape.
Mm-hmm. The cape. Well, you know, Spike kept.
But that's not darkly humorous.
Yeah. Spike kept on tripping over his.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Baron got bit by the patina bug and made the last two sketches all sexy. Yeah, well, he just does that. At this point, I don't think you can lay that one at Patina's feet.
No. This one's because.
Yeah, there you go. There's also some peculiar fan speculation. You know, if it's fan speculation, it's peculiar. That that Maniac thinking Humdrum is worthless and useless as a sidekick, much less a hero, but she secretly harbors feelings for him.
Ship them.
Ship it. There's a new ship.
Yeah. Humdrum and Maniac shipping.
Maindrum. Yeah. But what's about the Cloaks? Disaster. Hey, Mad Badger.
Hello. Yes, but you still made it.
Might be able to continue your Big Mac piece tonight for a little bit. Show us. Yeah. Doctor Strange would disagree. Yeah, your Doctor Strange piece, your Lyra Strange piece did not last very long.
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's going out in the mail probably on Monday afternoon or Tuesday at the latest.
Yeah, don't blink.
Yeah. When I put stuff up sometimes, folks, you need to grind. Now, of course, the funny thing is that people go, oh, well, you put something up a while ago. It must be gone. You don't have it in your eShop. There is still older stock available in my Smudge Marks Inkworks eShop. Dorian was going, oh my gosh, this isn't taken. I'm claiming it, on Friday when he was going through. So there's stuff there.
Yeah. So I say, go yell at DreamHost because there's people that want to go to your store.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if push comes to shove, I'll host you myself.
Yeah, the big thing is getting all the coding moved over and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because Smudge has kind of set that up, and we've gotten the bugs worked out of it for the most part. It's like, yes. Yeah. Well,
you bring up the new at the same time that the old is still running, and then you cut it over by pointing the DNS record to the to the new.
Yeah.
Bellintosh.
I'll bring that up to her.
Yeah, Big Bell.
Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
She still hasn't. Is it Cold Silver? Still can't believe that Gangster Luna hasn't sold. Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would like to see Power Ponies action figures? Well, there was a Target exclusive.
Yeah.
Actually, hang on a second because I believe Dusty has them. One moment, I'll go grab them.
Stand by for further information. Move that rib cage in, made that rib cage too wide. Let's bring that back in. Bounce this pencil lead out some too. Is this lead getting?
All right, folks.
Okay, there we go. Okay, it's
Check this out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second.
I believe this. Yeah, I gave this to Dusty as a Christmas gift, I think. So, going back briefly to the main. Whoop. Did you say Power Ponies?
Yep, that's them.
There we go. Get the glare out there.
Gotta do the Bionic Man sound effect when you do that. This is a secret.
Yeah, not surprised that say that the big rubber glove Apple Bloom hasn't sold. Nobody wants to admit. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if anyone's gonna want there's gonna be a Sweetie Belle with a syringe and a Scootaloo with a big thermometer. With the especially in the case of Scootaloo, I'm gonna be honest with you, this thing isn't gonna get any warmer. Well, stand by for more stuff. No, yeah, cold. Trust me, I know it.
Mystery Girl Style Maniac signed.
Sweet.
Charlotte Fullerton. She wrote it. Maniac Mayhem. Warning, choking hazard. But yeah, this is the Equestria Gold Style Maniac figure. Very, very hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. That was another one from good old Dusty. Thank you, Dusty.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what we should do is we should throw Dusty in the hot seat.
Yeah.
He has a tale to tell.
Well, soon as Dusty's not busy, because he's got work he's getting ready for. And so I know he's got a script he's reading.
Okay, it's right there. Yep. All right. And
Let's see. Yeah, microphone. Microphone, yay. Hi, everybody.
microphone.
Microphone.
So everybody asked Dusty about his trip.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Yes. I was off
Getting waterlogged.
getting waterlogged, pretty much. Yes.
Beautiful place to get
In
waterlogged,
the
but you were
most
getting
beautiful
waterlogged.
place in the world to get waterlogged of New Zealand. Yeah, it was a heck of a trip. SR Foxley had invited me to go to New Zealand and ride
Oh.
motorcycles with him.
It was SR Fox.
Yes.
Oh.
So it was
Okay.
Foxley and his friend Dustin and me.
Okay. Cool dude.
And we flew into Christchurch a couple weeks ago and picked up the bikes and took off in the middle of a cyclone. Yes. It rained on us a lot. So first 3 days was pretty much rain. First day, not so much. In the first, a bit of it, and then we started to get close to Mount Cook, and then it just started raining badly. We get up to Mount Cook, and we're having dinner there, thinking, oh, it's a great first day, this is great, it's awesome. And the waitress comes up and says, did you guys ride up here on motorcycles? Well, yeah, we did. You need to get out of here. What? Well, a cyclone's coming through. There's going to be 100-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow.
Surprise!
With rain.
Surprise!
Surprise! So we got up at like 5 in the morning. We're
It was
out
already
the door
raining.
by 6, and it's already pouring, and a little bit windy. It's like, oh, we're out of here, and we back down the road. And there's only one road up to Mount Cook and one road out, and it's like you don't want that one to wash out. So yeah, we got out of there, and it rained on us for 300 something kilometers. The first 100, it was just rain. It was miserable. And then we stopped at this little place, the middle of nowhere, where you can turn 2 ways to go to Dunedin, which is where we were going on the south coast. And one way was an hour and 45 minutes shorter than the other way, which is the way we wanted to go, where the great roads were. It was like, but not in this. No. So we had a nice hearty breakfast and said, we're going to go that way. And that road was still awesome. But we got there, and it's still raining, and we're soaking wet. And the funny thing, we pull in front of this really ritzy hotel, soaking wet, and we got all of our gear on. We walk in this place, and there's tiles and everything. It's like
Drip,
squish,
drip.
squish. Going up. Oh, you guys are the bikers. What was your first clue? Yeah, it was us. So they immediately, wonderful people, immediately got us checked in and said, we'll get your gear, don't worry, here, go upstairs.
Dry off.
Dry off. And it was really a wonderful thing, yeah. Biker Riders of Rohan. In fact, we work very close to Rohan. That was right outside of Christchurch. There is a 9-hour 4-wheel drive tour to go to Rohan, which we didn't get to do because we were booked on other stuff. But yeah, so it was basically a great big huge 2,800 kilometer clockwise
Car wash.
bike wash around New Zealand.
And awesome food. And drink.
Awesome food. We only did one really bad restaurant. That was up near, where was it? Gearmouth. But we did a helicopter ride up to Fox Glacier. We rode 4-wheel drives, quads through Overwash next to Franz Glacier. We saw the blowholes and the pancake rocks. We saw wonderful roads everywhere. I mean, just up the coast. There wasn't a bad road to be had. It was just if you're a motorcyclist and you really, really, really love to ride, you need to do New Zealand. You have to do New Zealand. It's got to be on your, check mark list of places I want to ride. Is the Alps and the west coast of the United States and New Zealand. Yeah. I'd love to ride in Japan, but it's really hard to get the permission to ride.
And I have to ask the question, Dusty.
What?
Do you ever want to ride the Isle of Man?
Yes, I would love to go to the Isle of Man during race weekend, and then after race weekend, go around the island a couple times and then go home. But yeah, it's. I would love to go see the races.
It's something of a pilgrimage almost.
Yeah, it's almost like a pilgrimage for bikers. Go do that.
Like Speed Week in Daytona.
Yep. It was. I wouldn't say it's. I would say it was a better adventure than Long Way Round, because Long Way Round was just way too stupid. It was. I mean, I loved watching them do it. I wouldn't want to do it. It's 1, way too expensive. 2, way too paperwork. You need visas to go through every country you're going through, and all of that. I mean, that's why they had this a year to plan this thing and turned it into a TV show so someone else could pay for it. Because I'm sure they probably spent $500,000, probably, maybe more, on that trip. It's incredibly. That's why when people take off on their motorcycles to go around the world, they sell all of their possessions. All of their possessions and all their money's on a card so they can just take off.
And make sure that they're knowledgeable as mechanics themselves, so they can repair their bike in the middle of Hoboken nowhere.
You know, Monkey, I have no idea about the riding in Wales. You'll have to tell me about it. I have no idea about it. Yes.
Wales, in theory, should have some nice.
In theory, they should have some really nice places to ride, but I've got no clue. England is known as a biker mecca. I'd love to go to the Ace Cafe just to check it out. They actually have a fake Ace Cafe in Japan. Yeah, it's
now the Ace Cafe. That's what's the famous one that all the cafe racers.
All the cafe racers, the ton ups. Yes,
doing the ton.
Yes, doing the ton. You gotta crack 100 miles an hour on those ancient 1950s 6-volt electrical system
at night.
At night motorcycles. Yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm I like I said, got back from that just last weekend. Was it last weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was last weekend I got back.
Because you got back just in time for Jaya's stream.
Just in time for Jaya's stream. So, in fact, that day I got back. I got back in the morning, and Jaya's stream was that afternoon.
Yep.
So, did that. So much fun. The flights were amazingly long. 18 to 22 hours, I think. It was. I took an hour to go to L.A. and sat around in L.A. and we took off from there. It was 18 hours to get to Brisbane, and then 3.5 hours to get from Brisbane to New Zealand. Because you're going back east and south. And we got to like Invercargill. Invercargill is known because that's where the world's fastest Indian, the actual motorcycle, is actually at, and that was actually where he grew up. So got to see those motorcycles. That was really cool. But that was like the southernmost tip of New Zealand, and from there to Antarctica was like a 4-hour flight. I was that close to Antarctica. I didn't realize it until we were down there. I went, isn't Antarctica like right over there? Yeah.
You could take the bike down, right in Antarctica.
Yeah, let's ride the bike down. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Got to stop all these really great little places. We stopped in the middle of nowhere because we were like, God, we really got to take a biology break. And we're in the middle of this really curvy road. There's all kinds of, oh, here comes this turnoff. We turn off and there's nothing there, right? There's this guy in his little camper making his lunch, and there's somebody else in a big RV, but there's nothing there. So I start taking a bunch of pictures, and SR comes back and goes, dude, you got to go across the street. So I go over there, and there's this huge, beautiful waterfall. I don't know if anybody follows my Twitter, but you saw all of the Daring Do pictures of everywhere in New Zealand. And there's this picture of Daring Do with the waterfalls. And it was like right there off the road. So it goes down underneath the road, follow it, and it goes, probably 200 feet down. Right there. No guardrails, no walls. Just don't step off of that. You're going to die. Okay? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Dusty, if you've ever ended up in Birmingham, Alabama, there are a couple of excellent riding roads near Barber Motor. Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Actually, Barber Motorsports Park area is a wonderful area. And of course, then there's the Tail of the Dragon, which is not near Barber, but it's somewhere in that area.
Yeah, and the Smoky Mountains in general, just
Smoky
and
Mountains in
the
general.
Appalachians have some beautiful,
wonderful riding. Yeah, I've probably got really close to 200,000-300,000 miles on motorcycles in my life, and there's a ton of places I still haven't ridden. Tons of places.
World's a big place.
World's a huge, nasty place to ride motorcycles, and it's awesome. You can get yourself in trouble in a lot of ways. If you haven't figured it out, I got some nervous energy going on because tomorrow is
something awesome.
Something awesome. It's recording day for me. Yes, so I'm going into my little home studio here, and both Peter New and Andy Stein are Skyping in, and we're recording tomorrow for the Thatch and Dow project. So I've been going over my script the last couple of days, did a bunch of notes, getting ready for tomorrow.
Have you done any like test reads? Just to
I have
kinda
done a couple
feel-
of test reads. It's been kind of hard because I've had riding my motorcycle in the rain throat going on, so I've been trying to not talk so much. But
Well, if you need to bow out.
no, I'm
okay.
good right now. It's feeling okay.
Well, that's because of oregano oil.
Yes. Oh my God. When Peter New gives you a tip, make sure you research that tip before actually doing it. Okay? Because he said, "Oh, you've got a rough throat. Here's something to do. Go down and buy yourself a bottle of oregano oil." Really? Oregano oil. Yeah, basically it's oregano suspended in olive oil. Just the oils of oregano and some of the leaves and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most intense oregano flavor I've ever had in my body. He says, you put a little squirt underneath your tongue and you swallow it. He says it's a little intense. It's not a little intense, folks. It's not a little intense, okay? It's like gargling a month-old Italian pizza. It's what it's like.
Great visuals there. I
It's
love
like,
it.
It burns, and then it's like leaves, and then it's like, ugh. And you're like, I almost put me on my knees. I took it downstairs in the kitchen while I was making my lunch, and I was almost on my knees. It hit me so hard. But it worked, because for the next couple of hours, this entire thing was clear. I was like, wow.
It's like packing a satchel charge. in your
Whether we'd
nostril.
be able to tell if this maniac was anthro. Of course we will.
Yeah. You should.
You can't tell that's anthro?
Yeah.
I can tell it's
yeah,
anthro. Yeah. But yeah, I now have a bottle of oregano oil. It's not inexpensive. It's
yeah.
it's homeopathic type stuff, but it's like I will use that sparingly when I really need to get something done and my voice isn't working that day. So, and not only that, I've got another very old friend of mine, Genesis Whitmore, who's from way back in my fandom days. Found out I'm doing voice acting and I'm doing it professionally. So she contacts me with some project that she and some other girl are doing, that they're doing animatics for YouTube, and she wants me to try 3 or 4
Oh.
different things that characters that they've come up with,
Mhm.
and they want to pay me money.
Hey.
Ooh, pay me money. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
you do this
yeah,
for a
as
living
soon-
now.
As soon as we get the recording done tomorrow, I'm going to take a day to go through those characters and come up with some voices, and send her some auditions and see if I can grab a job there. And then, of course, I still have the next book in the series of narrations that I'm doing that I have to start on. So that's going to get started next week, too.
It's nice to be busy.
Nice to be busy. And, of course, I'm still picking up work at Duncan's shop and a couple of places here in town. Sad thing is that the family motorcycle shop that I used to work in, their last day was today. They've gone out of business.
Oh wow.
So I went down there today to see if they had any like tires, something like that left over that would fit my bike, because they were 40% off. No luck there. But I did end up grabbing both of the clipboards I used to use at the store, and they just, "Here, Dusty, you can have those." It's like, thanks a lot. So I took them home. So I have my clipboards.
Yes.
When I worked there.
Gotta have 'em.
Yep, gotta have them. I gotta have
Then
clipboards in my
you-
garage, so I might as well have free ones.
Or put them on your scripts on.
Yes, I'll put one on my scripts.
Yeah. So actually, that brings up next question. What is your next? For me, what's your next guitar project?
Oh, well, I don't have an next guitar project yet. Oh, well, actually, I do. I'm going to be making 4, exactly 4 lunchbox guitars for Babscon. One being a rarity. I only have 2 of those boxes left. So if you love rarity and you want one of my lunchbox guitars, guess what? There's only going to be 2 more. Because those boxes aren't made anymore. They haven't been made for a year and a half. So unless somebody has their own box or knows of a stash of boxes somewhere I can lay my paws on, this project will come to an end soon, because I've only got so many left. So if you really like my lunchbox guitars and you don't have your own lunchbox you want me to make one out of, see me at a convention soon and pick one up. After that,
Good night, Husker.
Night, Husker.
You should make a shovel guitar.
No. I will probably be making real cigar box guitars, because I had a very good family friend of mine who lives in Miami send me a case of actual Cuban cigar boxes. So my next cigar box guitar will be a cigar box guitar made from a Cuban. So hopefully we'll be doing some more fun with that kind of stuff. I really this year, if all chips fall where they may, I would love to build Applejack's base from scratch.
Darn it, that's what I forgot to bring over today.
What, Applejack's base?
I think your
That'd
job
be,
easy.
that'd make my job easy. It's done.
Yeah, no, I forgot to bring the airbrush and compressor.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
He has an old airbrush and compressor
we're not using.
that they're not using that he's going to loan to me so that I can do certain things and learn certain things like starburst or burst patterns on guitars and things like that. So yeah, we'll be looking into doing that kind of stuff. But right now it's get ready for BabsCon. So I've been making buttons. All my buttons are almost ready to go. So that when the parts for the Lunchbox guitars show up, I can go straight into those. I have almost all of the stuff I had last year. I'm going to have a new Twilight Sparkle Secret Chippic folder card. I'm hoping to have a new enamel pin. My Little Ties, if you're out there,
And of course,
contact me, please.
you had the Rainbow Dash guitar you did.
The Rainbow Dash guitar, which is going to be in the charity auction. I'm giving to the charity auction at Babs. So if you want to take a shot at that and you're at Babs, come to the charity auction. Must be present to win. So that's coming up. Pretty proud of that one. And I have a special new product, which is in the pipeline right now, that you will see first at BabsCon. I'm not going to let you know what it is quite yet, but see me at table 4F. That's just 4F in the main hall of vendors. I will be in there, same place I was last year if you were at Babs. So come and see me to see the secret project. I think you will really like it. Like I said, new buttons, new Twilight Sparkle sheet card, hopefully a new enamel pin if that project has gotten off the ground. I haven't talked to Igor because he's been on his own vacation in England or the Europe area, and he's just gotten back. So
one question. Have you been given your table number yet for BabsCon?
yes,
Okay, that's interesting because
it's just gone up on the site
okay,
just
because
for the last couple days. Everyone's putting up there. I'm at this table. I'm at this table. I'm at this
Curse
table.
guys hasn't been given a table number yet.
Sure he has.
I'll tell them to double check because we want to start plugging that. Yeah, we're gonna be here at this location because we got our table. We're like the second person on the list as far here's the vendors. We're gonna
Yeah,
be.
you guys are on J6.
J6. Okay.
J6, according to Cold.
Thank you, Cold.
Yes. Yeah, you guys are on the other end of the hall from me. So.
Yeah.
So you can just yell at each other really,
Yeah,
really loud.
really, really, or L6, he says.
L6.
Sorry, L6.
This is like Battleship.
Yep. You sang my battleship. What?
Oh, you zapped my bumblebee.
Yes. So, anybody, I'm sitting here in the hot seat. I'm not on the internets that much anymore, other than Bronies React to the season finale, which should be coming out soon. Race. I hope you're still working on it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Kick, kick.
I'm pretty proud of the stuff that I did in that. That's coming out soon. But seeing as I'm here and I'm not here all that often, any questions for me? So throw up some questions and we'll answer some of your dying to need to know things.
Yes.
Wow, that's a really cool Maniac.
Thank you. I've done Matterhorn and I've done
watched.
Radiance.
I was watching in the other room.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. You're up to.
I'm up to date. So I can see Maniac being sort of like a Poison Ivy type character.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Most certainly. I thought the someone having a wallflower cosplaying Poison Ivy was.
Wallflower, that would be awesome. I'm cosplaying Wallflower who's cosplaying Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Or I'm cosplaying Wallflower who's cosplaying the Maniac.
Yeah, but it's just very much a case of, and the caption goes along with the piece of artwork is, well, you said you want people to notice you.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
Do you do the gross music? What's gross music?
Gross means big.
Oh, I don't know. Do I? I used to do parody song stuff all the time. I haven't done one lately. It's sort of fallen by the wayside as I've gotten busier with other stuff.
paying gigs.
Season 8, excited. Your brief thoughts. I'm tentatively excited about Season 8. I haven't seen many of the spoilers other than what Equestria Daily's been putting up. But the whole school thing,
Yeah.
maybe. We'll see. Depends on
How they handle
how
that.
they handle that. So I'm excited for new characters. I'm excited for new things. The whole school thing sort of takes Dash away from her Wonderbolt responsibilities.
It takes AJ away from her
Takes AJ
farm.
away from her farm. Who knows? So, we're not spoilering. It's already been out there.
Yeah.
We know that they're going to be at a school. They know that the girls are going to be the teachers. That's been out there. So. Will you be antagonizing Doc Wolf and the other mercenaries again anytime soon? Hey, you know what? TF2 stuff is in the pipeline. Plans have been made. Things are going to happen. Things have been recorded that are going to happen. So I can't say much more about it, but watch Doc Wolf's channel because things will happen soon. I have a question. Have you ever played tabletop games? Badger.
That's a silly
50
one.
years old in April. Of course I've played tabletop games. I've probably played tabletop games you've never heard of. So yeah, I've played a lot of tabletop games.
And you're, of course, you're our bard in our...
I am the bard in the D&D game, so of course I've played D&D. I've played a whole bunch of different types of games. So yeah, I mean, it goes all the way back to like Mousetrap. You know, I used to love setting that damn thing up just to make it go instead of playing the game.
Yeah.
You know, so that's part of where I get my mechanics from. Are there any Cuban cigars in that box? No, I'm sorry. My friend did not send me any Cuban cigars. One, I don't smoke anyway. I've never smoked in my life.
And not good if you're a voice actor.
Not good if you're a voice actor unless you want that really
Larry Cohen.
gravelly voice. But
I'm Larry Cohen.
I've always been an athlete, so I've never really done the whole smoke thing. I've never smoked. I've never taken illicit drugs or any of that stuff. I did drink a while when I was younger, but I figured that out fairly early, and I don't do that anymore. I drink socially, but I don't drink, to excess.
Yeah.
Paint question: have you used the 3M OcuSpray system? I haven't. I've been using Spray Max, which basically is a two-part spray can style of system, where they put the two-part epoxy style paint into a spray can. I've used the
How's the color?
epoxy primer. I've used the one-stage color, and I've used the two-stage clear. Love the two-stage clear because once that stuff dries, it is like glass. You can sand it, you can buff it, you can do all that stuff. The last guitar I built for Peter New, I put like 8 or 9 coats of that stuff on, and it was like liquid glass. It was really cool. I'm still learning to paint. I'm still making some mistakes, but again, you learn all the time on what you're doing. Yeah, so I'm hoping that with AJ's base, I can do the painting just a little bit better because that one's going to be pretty intricate.
Well, that's got color transitions and everything to it.
Dusty, who would you nominate for the title of Manly Brony if it would be you? Of course, it would be Snowflake.
Tyler. Is Tyler going to be up in this neck of the woods anytime in the near future?
You know what? They're both in school and working late nights, so they've been really busy. They haven't been able to come to any of the conventions. I need to go down and visit them myself.
Or
I should jump on the bike and go down there for a weekend, just show up.
Or just have them just come up and just say hi.
Well, they haven't. They're too busy.
Yeah,
they've got work or they got school. So I need to go down there myself, and I should because I've got more time than they do. So I should jump on the bike one weekend and just go down there and hang. Have some Mexican food and all kinds of stuff.
It'd be kind of cool.
Later, Badge. Yes. Dr. Wolf. Yes, that Dr. Wolf. Yes, that Dr. Wolf. I hear she who must be obeyed calling, take care of blah, blah, blah. Yes, Badge. Yes, she who must be obeyed. Like that one right there. Yes. Anything else out there? Anybody? Yes, a lot of the analyst people will be there. I hang out with some of them sometimes. I let them do their thing. I'm sort of like the outsider looking into the analyst community. Although, finally, it's been a while since we recorded it, but Silver Quill and I did a collab on an Newbie Dash, and that should be released this week. He finally got it done. It's been over a year since we actually recorded that, but he's been so busy with other commitments and Equestria Daily and things like that that he hadn't gotten the chance to actually do it. So he finally got that one done, and that should release soon. And you guys will probably be quite surprised at some of my opinions on that episode. It's pretty funny, and but it's pretty cool. I liked working with him. It was a lot of fun. Dusty, if you cosplayed as Jamie of Mythbusters, who would be your Adam Savage? That guy. That guy right there. He could easily do Adam Savage. You know, he's got sort of the hair. He could do the thing. He's got the glasses. He's got the goatee.
I can blow shit up.
He can blow shit up. Yes.
Important, very important.
Very important things. He can blow shit up. Yeah, so we could probably do the Mythbusters fairly easily.
Okay, we need that.
Off topic. I hate paper jams. You know what? I hate paper jams too. You know why? Because paper jams do not keep into the 7/8 rhythm when they're playing their jazz. You know what? They're just not in it. For some reason, paper just cannot keep the jazz rhythm, and it throws off it throws off the drummer. Then the bassist is out of time, and it just doesn't sound right.
And the pianist is unhappy.
Yes, unhappy.
Yes.
Yes. I have a beret. It just has, you know, I have a black beret.
Yeah. I thought the Adams Twitter where he was standing in line to board the Southwest flight and he was looking ahead and he was going, man, that guy looks an awful lot like Jamie. And he stared down for a long and goes, wait a minute. And he goes, Jamie? And Jamie turned around and they were both on the same flight.
Both on the same flight.
And they didn't realize it.
Yeah. How do I tame my beard? I listen to what it wants.
Yes.
That's the thing about facial hair, people. Do what your facial hair wants to do. If you do that, it'll look awesome. If you try to make your facial hair do what it doesn't want to do, it'll look like.
Yeah.
So I've basically having this beard mustache since 1987. I know what it wants. That's why it got back. That's why I came back so fast. So I know what it wants, and don't try to force it to do something it doesn't want to do, because it won't. So let your facial hair tell you how you're going to look. Don't try to, you know, force it into something it doesn't want to do.
I'm going to look like so-and-so, and your facial hair says, nope.
I actually had sort of that same thing happen to me when I was coming back from Vancouver. The one weekend I went up there to take a weekend intensive vocal class a couple years ago. I'm on the flight coming home, and me and Ian are kind of friends. Ian Collette, are kind of friends on Twitter. He really encourages what I do. I really thank him for that. But I'm coming back, and all of a sudden, I'm noticing that Ian is complaining about the same delay on a flight out of Vancouver, and I'm going, is he on this flight? I don't know. So finally, we get on the plane. I'm in the back of the plane, and all of a sudden, I hear this, Dusty! From the front of the plane, there's Ian waving like this and putting his phone out to take a picture. And it's like, okay, I took a picture of him, he took a picture of me. And so we had like lunch in Portland waiting for the next flight to go off. It was pretty freaking funny, actually. He seemed more excited than I did. He was like, oh my God, that's nothing.
Let me out.
Yeah. He has actually promised me a ride in the electric Porsche. So if I ever get down to where he is when he's in LA, he's gonna give me a ride in the electric Porsche.
Well, I mean, I was kind of surprised that you and I had the same seat going back from BronyCon.
Yeah,
last
we
year.
were like next to each other.
Yeah, in the very back.
In the very back of the plane. Yes.
Ooh, where all the padding was gone from the seats.
We couldn't lean back because we were against the bulkhead. It was nasty.
And by hour 4, my butt would gone to sleep.
But the rest of you wasn't.
No. And I was having problems because the headphone jack kept popping out of my iPhone, so I was trying to listen to music to keep myself distracted.
No, I am not a member of the Dorsey Irregulars, but I know many of them. Yes, I've been around long enough to know a few, but I am not a member. I am a member of the Great Dark Horde, if you know who that is.
Founded by Yang the Nauseating, if I remember right?
Yes, Yang the Nauseating. And if you know,
A.K.A. Shirley Purnell.
yes, a famous science fiction author. Anything else out there? Anybody needs to know? Anybody wants to know about the D? Spitfire's unheard nickname sounding similar to her name, only with a very crude variant. No wonder we never heard it spoken aloud. Well, you know what? Watch the Newbie Dash review because Silverquill actually heard and came up with her nickname. So I won't tip it off, but yeah, her nickname comes out in the Newbie Dash review. So you watch.
And your nickname is rarely ever a flattering thing. In that
Really, you know what my Wonderbolt nickname is? Because I am in the Wonderbolt, you know. I am.
Mm-hmm.
Ground pounder.
Yeah,
Why? Because I'm an earth pony.
Well, brick.
Yeah, and you're brick.
Yeah, I'm brick.
Yes.
RD gave me that one, but I mean, even when I was in art school and everything, I had a couple nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
Just about time to do.
Just about time to do the thing.
Yeah.
Just about time to do that.
Hourly duty.
The hourly thing?
Yes.
How do I do that?
Well, what
How
you
do I do it?
What you do is you grab the mouse. That
Grab
says
the mousey
encoder,
mouse?
That says
Yes.
encoder, and then you look on this list here, and you'll
Yeah,
see,
it says,
and you'll see there's two logo things near the bottom. No, not
no,
that
no,
side.
there.
It's in the art elements there. No,
Yeah,
not
no.
that side.
Overlay UA.
So you say turn off overlay left side,
Uh,
eyeball,
that was-
and then turn on.
And then we suddenly get logged off.
Woo! That was my fault. Yeah, I can do it. So
All right.
yes, University Art. That place downtown, that place in Sacramento.
That place
that
in Redwood
has-
City.
That place in Redwood City. That has all of your art needs. They had my art needs. When I was doing art, I bought all of my stuff there. This man told me about Black Magic pencils. Or was that Black Lightning? I can't remember. But they actually stopped making them, and both of us like hoarded those pencils like forever.
Yeah.
Because they were the best ever. And finally, all the nubs went away. But yeah, he tipped me off to all kinds of art stuff when I was still doing art. Whenever I have a piece of art that needs to be done like that, I go to University Art because they are the best. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 pieces of art done by them. This man has more than that. So yes, if you want framing done, best place to go for framing. But if you want to dabble in any type of making of art, they've got everything from spray paint to acoustic wax. So if you can think of it to do with art supplies, they probably have it or can get it. So you want to go to University Art. 3 locations: San Jose, Redwood City, Sacramento. And every now and then you'll run into Jaya and she will jump you. Because every time I walk in there and she's there, she jumps me.
Well, she doesn't work there anymore now.
Full
She-
indie,
she-
just like
Well,
that.
yeah, but she's still like teaching classes.
Oh, she teaches workshops there.
Yes.
But
Last time we were in
Those
there,
are
she
paying
jumped me
gigs.
because she actually get this, people. When we went there, so I could get my comic book pages framed. She's doing a class in acoustic. She finds out we're there. She grabs me by my shirt, drags me into her class, interrupts her entire class to introduce me to her class, and says, "Dusty, take off your shirt, show off your." Okay. So I show off my tattoo to her entire class, and she's like, "Isn't he cool?" I'm going, hey, "It's cool. Yeah, how you doing?" I love Jaya. I really do.
and of course, this Friday she has her pole dancing.
Yes, pole dancing Friday if you're in Sacramento.
At Beatnik Studios.
Yes.
Hold
You know, if I have the time and to think of it, and it's 5:30 in the afternoon, I've got nothing to do on Friday, I might ride my bike out.
It starts at 5:30.
Starts at 5:30.
Yeah.
So I can make Sacramento from here in 2 hours.
Not at that time of day.
Yeah, now it's an old
No,
grade.
no. I would leave between 10 in the morning
Ah,
and 2 in the afternoon.
okay, yes.
There's nobody on the road, and I'd be there early, have a nice late lunch,
Go hang out with Mike.
watch the stuff, and hang out with Mike on the way back.
Yeah, he's in downtown Sacramento.
He is now. So I'd have to like call Mike, say, "Hey Mike, can I stay over tonight?" Wouldn't that be fun? Then I could like be on his live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before actually.
Yes.
I played Fallout New Vegas
Yes, because
with him.
Because I remember the one time you were on and you mentioned my stuff, and I sat there and watched my DeviantArt account explode.
Explode. Yes. Had so much fun in that one because I'd never played that game before. And of course, we started off at the start, and I figured out that chucking dynamite killed everything. So I would basically creep along and I would start chucking dynamite. When we actually went into the roller coaster area, Prim, and it's like, I'm not shooting anything. I'm just chucking dynamite at people. It's like, so
Powder gangers, because you can
Yes.
mug them and take their dynamite.
mug them and take their dynamite. So that's all I did. I mugged them, took their dynamite, and blew them all up.
Ark, I'm glad this is getting you inspired. That's part of the reason why I do this. And
Yes.
And if you get stuck on anything, and you have any questions, drop me a note, send
Yes,
me an email.
absolutely.
I'll
So
try
that
to,
is
I'll try to reply the best I
University
can.
Art.
Click that off.
Click
May not
that
be able to do it right away.
Off. Bonk. Off. And on.
Excellent.
And we're back. With Baron Angle.
And we have Leslie.
Let's take a look at this awesome rendering. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool, people? I mean, happy little hair everywhere. He didn't think about exactly where that hair was going to go, other than the shape. It told him exactly where it wanted to be.
Well,
There
also-
are two characters in that picture.
Yeah, and it was very much a case of making sure these two characters get along well and fit an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and that was about the extent of
The
it.
extent. Yes. You know what would be really cool? Right about here, right about there.
There.
No, up, down, 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 right. Right, in that pocket. The pocket, to the right, the pocket.
Yeah.
Right there. You should put the orb.
That's one thing about doing, actually.
Yes. You should put the orb there.
You
With
can
the
do
little
that.
lightning bolts and all that kind of stuff. Wouldn't that be cool?
Do it as a black and white with that as spot color.
Maybe this. Actually, this surface does not take color well.
Ah, well, there you go.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, but if it degrades the overall presentation
That
of the
wouldn't work.
piece,
That
it's the
wouldn't
wrong material for the job.
Wrong material for the job. But yeah, I would put the orb there with the little lightning bolts coming out of it and maybe shining.
Now, if someone wanted to commission me to do a color of this, that
Who might want to do that? Hint, hint, hint. Yes, because a man does it for a living.
Yep, like this man, this guy does his art
Yeah,
for a living.
I do my vocal for a living. So
And
if
that's
you,
an art
if you
form.
want, if you want a say a phone message, or if you have a fan fiction that you've written and you want me to read it for you, I work cheap. Well, actually, I have a business like anybody else, and if you want me to read your fan fiction or anything like that, we can talk. I actually have somebody who's contacted me about reading their fan fiction, and they're just waiting for their tax return to come home. So hopefully I'll be doing a little bit of fan fiction reading too.
Coolness.
Yes, coolness. Are we almost there? It is now 8:24. 8:24. We're going to 8:30. Is that correct?
Yeah, 8:30, then we take a 5-minute break.
6 minutes to our 5-minute break. So if anybody wants to go early, but we are 6 minutes away from our 5-minute break. Coming up soon. Baron, is that black lead or non-repro blue? It is black.
This is black. This
It is black.
Well, it's
Is that 2B, HB? Which B is that?
this one here is 2B.
2B.
This one's loaded with B. I use this one for like.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
not 2B. It's 2B.
Yeah.
That one
well,
is 2B
there
and
is
not
no
2B.
question.
There's no question.
Yeah, and of course, graphite is never truly black. It's
No.
different shades of gray.
Yes.
If you want true black, you break out charcoal. Now, what I'm hoping maybe this year to have
Good night, Sutra.
here in the studio as a guest is George Rivera, who is was the curator of the Triton Museum in Santa Clara. And he does amazing work in charcoal, but we need to make certain that he can come in here and work and not ruin this room.
Yes. Because charcoal and
Carpet.
pastels and all that stuff is just a messy, messy thing.
Yeah.
And all that. But yeah, if you can think about cool or warm grays. Okay, that's what you can think about when you get to graphite.
Good night,
pencil.
Big Diesel. Glad you
Yes.
can join us.
Good night, Dees. So if you ever go to an art store and you see where they have all the cool or warm grays in an entire like 6 or 7 color packet, that's what you think about 2B, HB, and then hardness also. So when you start thinking about all of that,
Generally, the way I used to tell people to remember is the larger the number would be, B is for black, darker.
Yes.
Larger number of B, the darker the lead is. The larger the number of H, the harder and lighter the line will be.
yes. So they don't come in 99B.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
They come in
That's
9B
black
now.
hole, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But I have some 9Bs I occasionally
I
use for
thought
some projects.
99.
Oh no, not 99.
Vanta Black. In the
Yes, Vanta Black.
Yeah, that would be interesting to draw with.
Mm,
Well, it would be because Vanta Black is deposited by vapor deposition.
Yes.
Yes. pretty
but,
much.
but if you can make a stick of it, you can apply somehow. Like, that'd be like interesting.
4 minutes to break.
Yes. Okay, well, I've gotten the basic suit in. I'm not going to be able to get her hair in. I'm going to see if I can get start on her boots.
Boots.
All right.
I you know what, Baron, I will tell you now in front of everybody here, the way you do anthropomorphic horse legs is perfect. Always been perfect ever since you started doing these. They're amazing. They look like they actually work for an anthro. They'd walk, they'd talk, they'd jump, they'd run. It all works. It's amazing what this man can do with an anthropomorphic anything.
Yeah, it's got my thing, and I got very lucky. Patina modeled for me one night
Yes.
because well, darn, you asked me to model. Oh, I guess so.
Oh, and by the way, how is my visitor's visa to Equestria coming along?
That got kicked back.
Again?
There was a discrepancy in the form.
one?
It was
You
the
misspelled awesome.
yeah. No, that was the thing. So you need to resubmit.
I have to resubmit tonight then.
Yes.
I'm continually trying to get into his head canon so that I can actually go to the Bucking Mare and have a cider while watching the show.
Yes.
Yes, that's the
Buy
main reason I want to get into
buy
his
lunch.
equestrian
Buy
adventure.
carousel a lunch.
Yeah, buy carousel lunch and drink a cider, next to Rainbow Dash while we're watching
At the Bucking Mare.
at the Bucking Mare.
Yes, right.
That's that. Yeah.
And
But
ponies
we've been
turn,
trying for
turn,
2 years to
turn,
get
and
my
we're the
my
ones that
visitor
don't.
visa to actually clear Equestrian Customs, and it hasn't happened yet, and we don't know why. It
Well,
just keeps getting kicked back.
and I mean, Patina's even trying to leverage Princess Twilight and see if she can expedite the
That
process.
might be the problem.
It might be the problem. But anyway, yeah, because she should be a princess long enough now that she can actually sign these kind of forms.
Yes, there should be a waiver on the immigration
Waiver.
restrictions.
They do need mechanics. I am very good at steam engines.
Mm-hmm.
They do need mechanics.
Well, with all the princesses getting their own choppers, sometimes
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's tell them I'll build each one of the princesses their own chopper.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
Yeah. Okay.
Would that be enough
I'll pass
of
I'll
a
pass-
bribe
I'll pass
for the
that along.
equestrian royalty to let me in?
I'll see if Apple Bloom can pass that along to Luna.
Yeah, pass that one along to Luna. I'm sure Luna would love her own chopper.
Well, especially since she's kind of gone goth.
Yes, she has. And
She-
I can paint that sucker black and blue all day long. And with that, we're about 30 seconds away from our break.
Uh-huh.
So
Maine.
we're gonna hit Maine.
Yep.
Is that one? So we are back right
Okay.
now on the Maine.
Switching
Here we
glasses
are.
so I can see people.
Switch the glasses. 'Cause
I
It's
can see
break
what I'm
time.
doing.
So you out there in TV land, you go take a drink, go take a wee, and we'll be back in 5.
Mike, intermission.
Back indeed.
Back for the final hour.
I'm Dusty Cat, and I just got ugly.
Actually, I will. I've been watching some of the back and forth when the Zoomians and folks talking about, digital and traditional. They both have their place. One's not necessarily better than the other. However, I will say if you're getting started, there is a certain advantage with working in traditional because you don't have undo. And when you're working on something and you can only do so much to correct a mistake you made, before you start on something, you stop and you go, what am I trying to do here? And that will quite often focus your mind, and you're
Right.
just
There's something at stake, so you're going to get it right because you're going to stop and think.
I mean,
Yeah.
many of my drawing classes, we would have to start a picture in pen and ink, and we weren't. Of course, you can't erase that. So before you put your first line down, you'd go, "What am I trying to do here, and why am I doing?" You would think through the process where you'd start, and you quite often got a pretty good piece of it because you'd actually worked out all the problems in your head first.
Indeedy. So, getting back to this hour,
Yes.
it's the final countdown. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? You guys are going to decide.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've been doing Power Ponies. It doesn't have to be Power Pony. It could be anything you guys want because this is your request. It's got to be safe for work, not your OC. That's called a commission. Contact me about that. Even though if you afterwards you want to buy this, it is for sale. Something I can do about an hour. Make it safe for work.
Yep. Oh, and be a good sport if you say if yours doesn't get chosen because it's whatever tickles Baron's fancy. Okay.
And if I draw it for you, that doesn't mean you own it. You have to contact me if you want to buy it.
All righty.
Okay.
You ready to go then? You guys know. You guys are all veterans here. You know how this works. Give us your ideas in 3, 2, 1.
Go.
CMC Power Pony into the 3.
Okay.
That's
Hey.
thematic.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I would
actually.
say superhero Celestia.
CMC.
Kid Rock Crusader.
Yeah. CMC.
The Celestia Rock Crusader. Darling and the Punks. Dang. Sunset Shimmer in a
skin tight suit.
Yeah, funny about that.
Been
We
playing
just had
Blackwood.
something like that, yeah. Human sassy saddles wearing a denim miniskirt and high heels.
Carla
French-
Angel. Okay.
French maid Octavia. Rosemary Parker meets Jessica Knight. We've heard of that before. Carla Angel. Angel Bunny in a... Oh.
We got another CMC Power Pony.
Patina Man. I choose you. Carbonated hormone attack.
Okay.
CMC Power Pony gets a second there. Superhero Celestia. Somebody like that. Patina's idea from last week involving knee pads. Anthro-Tirek. I think you did something like that one.
Yeah, and actually I have, I'm not going to do that because next Saturday I'm going to be doing a Patreon reward that's in that theme.
Spider-Mare, Cutie marks have unfortunate implications. Yeah. Cheese sandwich as Deadpool.
Yeah.
Breeze head overreach.
Carousel
Buddy
is part of
suit
stained
of
glass one
patina.
design. Okay.
Bunny suit of patina. Surfing stormcutter sword.
Mm-hmm.
Zabrana. Zukora Azatana. Carousel is part of stained glass window design. Now that's the more than 1 hour category.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool idea though.
IT is a IT version of Celestia. Carousel is a dub.
Superhero cadence.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Celestia touching a Van de Graaff generator. And there's Toxic and the Mighty Muffins. The Stallion epic facial hair.
Yes.
Superhero cadence. A wild Toxic has appeared. Any unicorn pony.
Old
Zakora pole dancing. Ooh.
old Granny Smith pole dancing.
Well, that's doubly thematic because Brenda Critchlow did pole dancing as a role in a film that she did, and she's kept at it ever since. Barbarian Celestia. You know, we're talking furry bikini stuff here.
Yes.
Nightmare. It's a Nightmare Derpy with a shattered moon. I just didn't know what went wrong. the Titans dance Celestia and Troubleshoes at the Grand Galloping Gala. There are no survivors.
I have to admit, pole dancing Zakora has.
Well, again, it's a double, you know, because of Brenda Critchlow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
What is it with all these awesome people we know suddenly doing pole dancing? I should learn pole dancing. No, I shouldn't. Spin, fling.
Yeah, and then you get to, you know, your chiropractor gets to say hi to you.
Anything with Zakora.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to pole dancing Zakora as for our last hour.
Yeah, okay, so the only question then is?
Anthro or
four-legger.
Yeah, is this going to be like in my dreamscape pony pole dancing, or is this going to be Anthro Zakora pole dancing?
All right, we got here. Okay, we got the Anthros, and we got the Anthro, Pony. Yeah, patina Van de Graaff generator. That's structural. Pony, Anthro, Pony. You guys, this is me. Pony, Anthro, Pony, shrug. Anthro, dude.
Okay, I'll soft step in. Okay, Anthro. Okay, Anthro's winning. Okay, Pony, Anthro.
Okay, we're 7-6.
Anthro, 8-6.
9-6 at the last moment, taking the electrical college.
Anthro.
Yeah, both. 10, 11. Okay, we got it.
We have Anthro. Thank you, guys. All right, now I need to change my glasses.
Damn, Dusty Anthro. Yeah. 2 legs good, 4 legs bad. I'm going to shut the window.
Okay, you do that thing. And then when you're done, if you can bring that over so we can actually show folks.
Oh, yes, we have a thing to show from last week.
Yes. All right, now I need to go to my photos. I happen to have some Zakora reference. Actually, I need to go through and do a little bit of. You folks might remember watching Jaya create this wonderful piece of artwork on our last stream. Well,
again, this has been painted with wax.
Mm-hmm. And glad you can join us, Pink.
Yep.
And
you can buy it.
Yes.
But where?
At the BabsCon charity auction.
Hand. Let's make this go for 4 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go put that somewhere safe.
Yeah. Go ahead, Clara. Prow. Okay, let's set something up here.
There we go. Let's whip. 2 legs good, 4 legs better.
Yeah, but the number of votes that came in was for.
Yep. If you'd like, Prowl, although that ship has sailed at least for tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. And Mighty Muffins is ready to go to.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, so by the way, Mr. Mighty Muffin, say, I'm not sure. You should probably be honored, but there were folks earlier saying, okay, we're gonna channel our inner toxic here, and they're
Yeah, or
throwing
tonight.
questions out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Mighty, you did good.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say, be afraid, be very afraid.
Okay, actually, what I need to do first, I need to go through here. I have some reference. I want to double check something before I go.
Okay, time for this. It begins.
It begins.
As an earlier quest, you did an anthro-hypothetical offspring of Twilight and Tyrek. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yep.
2 hands, 2 hooves. To which of your response was, really? Well, it was an anthro pick, so
Yeah.
yes. It wasn't going to be 3.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a puppeteer. I think I almost met Eric Schwartz at the Amiga Club table at the Dayton Hamvention, but was distracted by the Van de Graaff generator at the next table. So how do you know Amiga people? From the sound of grinding teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, so mentioned stream last night. A 2-part question. What's your favorite horror movie? For me, Alien.
Yes.
The best. The first one.
I'd have to say that or The Exorcist.
Yeah, I would say for classic horror, I mean, set your way back machine to the 70s, Hill House, the one with Roddy McDowell. That was good. Yeah, Showgirls, absolutely horrific. yeah, that was pretty scary.
We're going to go with that one. That'll fit well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Soprano says, okay, you couldn't let that go unanswered, so tonight he suggested Tyrek with 2 hooves and 4 hands. We'll give you points for that. We'll give
Yes,
you
you
points.
will.
Yeah, let's say Monkey the Chimp. For me, that one episode of Pingu. Second part is, what genre of horror movies you like? Psychological horror, suspense, splatter.
More psychological and suspense than splatter.
I agree. Say again, the not a big fan of the lurid stuff. The whole Saw, and let's see, send the central casting down to the butcher shop. Hey, all that stuff you're about to throw away, we'll take it.
Yeah, the torture porn.
Yeah, that's does not turn any cranks for me at all. Yeah, so that's not so good. But as far as genre is concerned, I like psychological horror. I think about Alien is that with the exception of the Chestbuster, which was, again, that's a proper use of splatter. You use it as punctuation, not as the entire body text.
Very Hitchcockian.
Right. So again, it's that almost all of the horror is taking place in your head. And I said there is nothing more terrifying than what you dig out of your subconscious.
Right.
Room 101, Winston can tell you.
Yes. The funny thing is that Carousel, the sweet, lovable Carousel, loves horror. She loves, reading about horror. She loves watching horror. It's like going, okay.
Yeah. Lego. I'm not sure I would classify Aliens, the second one, as horror. That's an action movie to me.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems it's just completely different kind of thing. Now, there were certainly some strong horror thematic elements in it. Particularly because of the carryover from Alien. But to me, that was more action adventure, and and it was damn good at that. It's one of the best of that genre.
And the whole thing about Aliens, I mean, in Alien, you didn't know what was going on. Which one of the reasons why Alien is probably my favorite horror movie is it's the first rated R movie I ever saw. I snuck in when I was 13 years old.
Yeah, and didn't sleep for a week.
No, is that with Aliens, you knew what was coming, and you were like screaming at the Marines, "You idiots!" And when they finally open that one door and they're going down through the levels on the terraforming plant, and they go, "Oh, we found something." There's all that stuff. It's like, oh, it begins.
War of the Worlds, 1950s, Terrified as a Kid. Yeah, that's a thriller.
Yeah.
And it was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say the original one. Yeah. War of the Worlds. Yeah. Arachnophobia in Cabin Woods. Yeah, those are, given pony culture, it'd be interesting to see their horror movies. Chipped hooves. Yeah. Let's see. Do you count King Kong, the original King Kong, the 1930, blah, as a monster movie? Not really. I'm not sure how I would classify
It's
it.
pulp.
Yeah, it's pulp. Yeah, a monster movie is would be things like Dracula and again, basically anything with Christopher Lee in it up until about the mid '60s.
Yeah,
That kind of
The
stuff.
Mummy.
Yeah, but King Kong wasn't. I mean, he was a monster from the point of view of monstrous, etc. But he was not out to lay waste. Again, it was just he was a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thunderchild starts playing. Yeah. But let's see. Actually, I need to change this back since you're probably not quite ready to see this face. There we go. Hey, that's much prettier. Okay. Let's see. All right. See you later, Mr. Rainbow.
Thank you for dropping by.
Alien Isolation.
Yes.
The game. Yeah, that was good.
So
That
hopefully
was-
see you Saturday.
Yeah. 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 So it said, Baron, wait. As the first R-rated movie you went to see, what was your experience like with that? Well, again, snuck in was part of it. Did you come in through the side?
Yes.
You literally snuck in.
Yes.
Oh, you bad boy.
Yeah. And I came home to our house, and it was just by some fluke. It was a case where all of my family was out of town. So there was no one to come home to. And I come home to this house. It's dark at night. And I went to the house, I turned on every light, and I looked up because people didn't look up in the movie. That was the one lesson I took away from Alien was to look up. And went through that entire, and yeah, that was why I developed my, I wouldn't know if love would be the correct word, but my deep appreciation for H.R. Giger. And after that, I, for a while, sought out anything I could find from him, which was kind of hard, actually, with that age, because they wouldn't sell a lot of that stuff to kids, back in the early 80s, late 70s. But yeah, that became one of my, and it kind of grafted itself onto my subconscious, for lack of a better word. And I need to turn this upside down, because I need to draw her head. And it's a lot easier to draw someone's head when you're looking at more from an upright position. Yes, it has popped up occasionally in this discussion chat. I had an art instructor and said, never turn your picture upside down. And my answer to that is turn it any direction you have to get the results. That's all that matters.
First two Hellraiser films were good. Yeah. The original Hellraiser I liked. That was a good psychological horror film.
Yes.
Afterwards, it just started slipping.
Yeah.
Again, into lurid and gratuitous.
Torture porn.
Yeah, exactly. And at that point, there's nothing for me there.
Now, as far as the best horror comedy, I would have to say it's Armies of Darkness and Evil Dead 2, because they just were not taking themselves seriously.
Yeah. Those are just great.
Shaun of the Dead is pretty good too.
Yeah. The D&D movie is pretty horrifying. Yeah, that's how you kill Jeremy Irons' career. Well, it was that and the fact that he's such a vocal supporter of traditional fox hunting. It's like, dude, that your time has passed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the kind of movie that can end a career.
Yes.
Hayes' first was Terminator 2 at age 16. Parents shielded you very firmly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Geez, I'm trying to remember the first R-rated film I saw. I don't recall. Oh, now I do. I guess because it was shut out of my mind because it was such a traumatic experience because it was such a bad movie. Mm-hmm. Saturn III.
Oh.
I went to see it because it had Farrah Fawcett naked. And it wasn't even that good.
Yeah.
But it was just bad. There was no redeeming features in it. Not even the left
Ferris.
feature and the right feature. Farrah's all about the hair. She wasn't about the bod. So yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask the question. Charlie's Angel. Who was your favorite angel?
Jacqueline Smith.
Okay, same here.
Best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, a lot of people in the community like Kate Jackson, but the character, you know, that's
Jacqueline.
I forget the names. I mean, the only one I remember whose characters in Charlie's Angels I remember are Charlie, Charlie Bosley and Holly. You know, of course, Holly was fair. But the Jacqueline Smith character, you know, she was smart and and easy on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Kate was no slouch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I like
But
Jacqueline.
you know, there was an order of magnitude involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I remember the first RoboCop movie. We're going to see that with a.
Yeah. Yeah. Saving Private Ryan, the scene where the Germans fire a flak gun at the American soldiers assaulting a Tiger tank.
Yep.
Yeah, that was messy.
Yeah. And then when pieces started falling off of the tank. Yeah, that movie was, because of some things that have happened earlier in my life. I'm not going to go into details about it. That was a movie that I actually had a little bit of, like, you know, that PTSD flashback type thing from. It was like, they got the whole feeling, that feeling of tachypsychia almost down pat. And it was really great how they would do great as in they pulled it off wonderfully. It wasn't great if you were in the theater watching at the time. Watching how they slowly would do the transition into the effect. They just would start changing the film. It's like, okay, here we go.
Now, Mighty Muffins, if you want to torture yourself with, say, Wikipedia will be glad to ignore your safe word.
Yeah.
You know, your safe word is Alt F4.
Yeah.
Now, it was just a really stupid, vaguely science fiction movie about the evil, malevolent killer robot that wanted to have sex with Farrah Fawcett. At least that's how I remember it.
Yeah, that's about the gist of it, from what I understand.
But Saving Private Ryan gave a lot of veterans mental shock. It also helped a lot of them too.
Yes. I described it, it's like Schindler's List.
Yeah.
It is a good movie. It is not a nice movie, but I think it's a movie people need to see.
Well, and more specifically, you know, say if anyone ever is, say ever wants to diss, you know, combat veterans about PTSD and all that stuff, it's like, you know, drag your ass down to Saving Private Ryan and said that was my life, you know, don't you ever disrespect what I went through again.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, sir. Yeah. You may not agree with why I was, you know, in the army, et cetera, et cetera. But this is the reality that your country, yes, yours, sent me into. You know? And and in that it's very good for veterans, particularly combat veterans, because now people who aren't combat veterans get a taste.
Yeah, there was a guy who used to come into University Art. Once again, being able to sit down, it was one of the most awkward conversations I had, but it was a very meaningful conversation. There's a gentleman who used to come into University Art all the time, and I have to admit, for a long time I really wasn't very fond of him because he was a bit of a crotchety guy, and he was a bit abrasive at times and everything. And he used to, you know, you kids just don't understand, you know, and I go, yeah, whatever. But then one day he always wore long sleeve shirts. And at one point when we were sitting there at the frame counter talking, he had to roll his shirt up to do something. And he rolled up his arm. He was like in his 80s. And on the inside of his forearm
was a tattooed
a tattooed number.
Crudely tattooed number.
And it was like,
yep.
Oh.
Yep, I had an encounter like that myself once at a card room, a poker room of all places. You know, I've mentioned this one before. You know, I was over at Garden City Casino. You know, this little tiny card room. You know, over in Santa Clara. You know, I'm playing. You know, Texas Hold'em, $2 small blind, $4 big blind. You know, I would go down there with $100 and I just, you know, play until I got my ass kicked. And I was sitting there playing, and I says and this guy to my right was just this, you know, ancient, you know, dude, you know, and, you know, oh, he had the accent, and he was kind of muttering, you know, and he was muttering under his breath, you know, when I was thinking, oh, yeah, that was a good raise, you know, and after a couple of hands, and his stack of chips was getting bigger and bigger. And after a couple of hands, you know, I recognized he was kind of offering me advice, you know, commentary. You know, and then he reached for his drink, and I saw on the inside of his right arm, you know, where the sleeve pulled back a little bit, right about here, crudely tattooed
Mm-hmm.
numbers. Oh shit, this was an Auschwitz survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd better listen to this guy because because there's absolutely no life subject on that he has not seen at all.
Yeah.
And I started listening to his little tips, I should watch, and
Your hand got better.
my chip stack stabilized and started to go up.
Yeah, that was the same thing for me. It was very much a case. He very much realized. He said he looked at it because he never made a thing about it. He just kind of pulled the sleeve down. He just looked at me and said, "Yes." That's all he said, and I went,
Okay.
I understand. And he says, I said, I can't truly understand what you have gone through. However, I realize now that my worst day of my life was probably far better than anything that happened on your best day.
Yeah.
And
Pretty
he
much.
went,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
And I had some different respect for that guy afterwards, I will admit.
Yes. So here we go. Continuing with the movie questions. The worst movie you ever paid to go see after thinking it was going to be good. Anytime you actually walked out of it, automatic win.
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
I don't think I've ever walked out of a film. Okay, Superman 2. I'd
Superman 3 was worse.
Okay, I didn't see Superman 3, so I don't have that one to basically draw. But I had seen Superman 1, had really liked it, and oh boy, Superman 2 is gonna be great, and then no, it wasn't.
Saturn 3 was close.
I didn't pay to see Saturn 3. I just watched that.
Highlander 2.
I didn't watch that one because
I saw that one in the theater. I shouldn't have.
there was only one.
God. My brain keeps going back to this really awful movie called Laser Blast. Mind you, at the time I was 13, and I had just seen 13, 13 or 14, yeah. I had just seen Star Wars. I was like, cool, science fiction movies, hooray!
Yeah.
Laser Blast. Oh, God, that was bad.
This sucks.
I almost. I did not see it in the theater, but almost just turned off in the middle of it. Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
But I saw it through because because a lot of people say it's one of the most important movies that's come out in the last 30 years.
Uh-huh.
It was Quentin Tarantino's first big film.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see the techniques he was using were stuff that no major filmmaker had used before, etc. So it's instructive.
But
Again, it was again the lurid brutality. On the other hand, it's the kind of brutality that you might actually find some people out there actually
doing.
So it's like from that point of view, you can't put your head in the sand.
No.
But I sure as hell did not enjoy it.
Well, it's one of those cases of yes, there are real monsters in the world. They look like you and I.
Yeah.
They don't look like chest bursting aliens. They don't look like four-armed, bat-winged abominations. They walk down the street just looking like you and I.
Yep. Yeah, Duca, that's exactly right. Highlander 2, there should be only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to be a little bit longer.
Yeah. So, there was a laser tag animated series there. Now, Laser Blast, the basic thing was, was the alien ship, wrecked, and there was this weird little flat stone thing, and for some reason this hillbilly picks it up and presses it to his chest, and it turns him into a monster with this laser cannon strapped to his arm, and then he goes after the townspeople. Let me put it this way: it was you compare that to say Tremors, which was how you do that kind of genre right.
Mm-hmm.
Once
again, Tremors almost bordered
Tremors
on
was fun.
the horror comedy. Once again, like Armies
Yeah.
of Darkness.
Yeah, exactly. It would make a great dual feature of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Syriana. Syriana was interesting. Again, George Clooney. It was George Clooney. It was a George Clooney lecture, thing. Had Alexander Siddig, who played Bashir in Deep Space Nine, in it. Again, it did make cardboard bad guys out of I mean, so mind you, your Texas oil men are not nice people, but come on, and again, that was a little bit cartoon. They took a serious subject, and whenever they were dealing with the Texas oil men, they turned them into cartoons. It's like, dude, you blew it.
Now, the one that actually was kind of a suspense horror, but it was really good. And it was primarily because of Christopher Walken's performance in it. Was Prophecy.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, that was
and Viggo Mortensen, who was delicious.
Yes, but Watkins did a great job of this. He's not. He's not human.
No, was it Christopher Walken can turn into an alien with a human body just at the flip of a switch, and but again, in real life, apparently he's a practical joker and a prankster, and he's great fun to be around. But again, you turn it on, and it's all the way on.
Well, it's like Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. Which, Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs was a good psychological.
Yeah.
So that one kind of. Actually, I need to move that.
Yeah, and he likes cowbells. He wants more of them.
I really need to get more cowbell.
Take soul, man. Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Mighty Muffin Generic's talking about Dante's Peak, and Mighty Muffin's like, oh, that movie triggers you so hard. It's like, well, yeah, he wants to be a meteorologist. Yeah. Yeah. Day After Tomorrow is a weather person. Twister.
Anyone seen my truck?
Well, hell, for that matter, Waterworld. It's like, where'd all that extra water come from?
Yeah, I kind of liked Twister though, because it was that one was kind of good in a few spots where you're kind of going, is the tornado chasing them, or are they chasing the tornado? And just that line, has anyone seen my truck? Comes down the road.
That pose would be way harder if her boobs were any bigger. It's like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, there'd be a suffocation hazard.
Yes.
Yeah. And so now. Okay, now is when James Cameron is going to deviate from the Pocahontas and space thing, and the movie will get interesting. It never did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Dances with Wolves in space. Apparently, Kevin Costner is an absolute bastard to work with, because he's a Kevin Costner and you're not, and he will let you know that. One of my very few brushes with greatness. There's an author named David Brin. He has written Hugo Award-winning novels, Startide Rising, The Uplift Wars.
Uplift Trilogy, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's more a trilogy now.
Okay, yeah, true.
Sundiver, hard science fiction. I mean, the guy has a doctorate in, PhD in astronomy from Caltech. And again, you do not get more hardcore than that as far as hard science. And again, he's written a bunch of novels, and with really interesting premises. We ended up at Further Confusion. I think it was Further Confusion 4. When it was back up at the Dunphy, the Dumpy. And they accidentally double scheduled a room. I was giving a talk on writing for comic books, and he showed up and he looks at his schedule and realized that they had made a mistake and that he was supposed to be in that room an hour later. So no, sit in. I was like, because you're David fucking Brin. There's the one F-bomb. I get it. I spent it. And you think, yes, because I enjoyed the heck out of his work. I was like, I'm on a panel with David Brin. So gave my talk on on writing adult comics, saying how to make it about what's between the ears, not what's between the thighs. And he was taking notes, and I'm like, oh shit. Afterwards, sat in on his, and one of the things that he was talking about, he had just had a bad experience with the movie The Postman, which for him was all about hope after Armageddon. And for Kevin Costner, who starred in it, it was all about an anti-militia screed. And David Brin had been on the set, and he'd been objecting to these ad hoc off the cuff changes that Kevin Costner was making to the script. And finally Costner was like, who the hell is this? We're making these changes. It's like, I wrote the novel. He says, yeah, but I'm Kevin Costner. Get off my set. Oh boy. And David Brin said, I am never, ever allowing one of my novels to be made into a movie. And I was like, crap, I wanted to see Startide Rising or Sundiver would have made.
Oh,
great
Sundiver.
movies.
Sundiver would have made it very
Great,
interesting.
science fiction mystery,
Oh,
hard science fiction.
and also an interesting social.
and
the whole,
Kevin Costner screwed it up for everybody with his, enormous ego.
Yeah, because there was a whole lot of also the whole questions about were we actually feral, or did we have a patron that just had gotten lost to the Galactic Society and they didn't know who it was? They were having a hard time accepting that we could just uplifted ourselves, for lack of a better word. Yeah, it was a fascinating. Thank you, Kevin. I love you too.
yeah. No. So again, he made Dances with Wolves, which was good.
Field of
and-
Dreams.
which was good, and then he decided that he walked on water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hence Waterworld, I guess.
Yes, Water Hurl.
Any pointers for writing comics? All right, the 60-second version. You have a page budget. Stick to it. That means that if you have 24 pages, say that means that you have to introduce the bad guy by page whatever, etc. Pacing is really important. I'm talking about writing for physical comics. When you have to turn the page, you have a moment of tension, use that. Dialogue needs to sound natural, so take a look at your script, pick up your script and read aloud, away from everybody else, so you won't be embarrassed. Only character X, and just sequentially read all the lines from character X. Do they sound consistently like they're coming from the same person?
Mm-hmm.
Now read all the lines for character Y. Are they consistent within character Y, and are they different from character X? When you're writing the script, say for a comic, do not get too detailed in describing the scene. You've hired an artist, or of course maybe you are the artist, but assuming you're hiring an artist because they think visually.
Mm-hmm.
You think verbally, you're a writer. The visuals are the wheelhouse of the artist. Remember that whole bit about when I'm evil overlord of the world, I will listen to my advisors.
Mm-hmm.
Artists are your visual advisors. Trust them. Again, when writing for adult comics, concentrate on the motivations, the emotions. Why are these characters together? How does it work well? How does it not work well? And for God's sake, avoid the cheesy, I'm the plumber. I'm here to fix this thing. Waka chow, waka chow, waka chow type of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
There's this guy, Kanishi Panda, does some really cool animations. He did Once Upon a Time in Canterlot and The Protector. The ones with the jazz music with Octavia. As the martial artist, holding back the Changeling invasion, and Derpy as the hero, and just beautiful stuff. He does naughty comics, and the dialogue in it can kill people, not in a good way. It's just oh my God, don't do this, don't do this.
You did this.
Yeah,
You did it.
But I think he goes way over the top, on purpose. He's just trying to see, you want campy, I'll give you the whole jamboree. Let's see.
I'll throw a platter of s'mores in on that.
What else? Avoid talking heads.
Mm-hmm. Even though I did see, actually recently on Twitter, they had some pages. It was actually something from Marvel showing some cases. If you have to have a dialogue-heavy scene, here's how to make it at least visually interesting. I'm going, yes, this is actually correct. Some very useful information.
Yeah. McClaw. Actually, J. Michael Straczynski wrote a book called The Art of the Screenplay.
We have a copy at home.
Yeah, which is really more about the business of screenwriting than it is about the mechanics. And one of the things he talks about with regards to creative control is that there is a slider. On this end is money. On this end is creative control. If you want more of this, you're going to get a whole lot less of that.
Yep.
And that was the lesson that David Brin learned.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's a related lesson which Lauren Faust learned. On this end is the magnitude of the already existing intellectual property. On this end is your vision. There's a slider.
Mm-hmm.
she thought she was going to have a whole lot more creative control than she actually had. She should not have been surprised by this, but she had not worked on somebody else's intellectual property before.
Well, also too, it was a case of
Not in a leadership position.
in that particular leadership position. She'd been like a lead artist or something like that, but that's not being the director.
Good night, Rebel.
And it's when you start getting into that you start going, oh, right. So that's why people do things the way they do. When I got moved into a management position at University Art, it was very interesting. I suddenly realized some of the reasons why Mike had done certain things. It's like, oh.
You understand Celestia better when you've had to decide which one of your 3 employees you have to fire, even though all 3 of them need that job to pay rent.
Or in this case, we're just this one's getting full time this week, and this person's only getting 24 hours.
Yep. Yeah. This is Nazumi. I have but one question. Why was Benedict Cumberbatch chosen to play the role of the genetic superhuman Khan Noonien? Ricardo Montalban was the only human. I thought that Cumberbatch, you say Khan was not bad. It just wasn't Star Trek.
Yeah.
If it had any label other than Star Trek, that would have been a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, again, I thought he acted the role well. It was a very interesting character that he portrayed that was not Khan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was much more almost cold, almost sociopathic type individual. He was not really a charismatic, which Khan was supposed to be a very charismatic leader apparently.
Yeah. Now, that's the thing about J.J. Abrams is he has the ability to negotiate that full creative control.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he takes over a property and takes over is the word, he will rewrite it in his own image. And sometimes that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be fair. However, he leaves pre-existing bodies of work in flames. And including a lot of stuff that's like, the reason you're here is because of what you're burning, and yeah, okay, fine. It's like the stuff that the Star Trek movies that J.J. Abrams made weren't bad, they just weren't Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Montalban did die before the Trek reboot.
Yeah, and the whole Cloverfield thing, I don't get.
Yeah. So.
I mean, if they had followed the initial idea, it might have been okay. The problem I have with Cloverfield is watching 5 minutes of someone's shaky phone video footage is one thing. Watching 90 minutes of it on a big screen is Barfovision inducing.
Dusty, as it turns out, has one of the Anthropony maniacs. I'm going to give a very brief.
Oh.
They exist.
They are real. They're not strictly...
Maniac Mayhem.
Yes.
And this one is signed by Charlotte Fullerton. Yeah, okay. That's who wrote the episode.
Mm-hmm.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled pole dancing ponies.
Yes. Already.
Yeah. Tonight, this show is brought to you by
The letter P.
The letter P. Viewers
like you.
Viewers like you, and University Art.
Yes.
University Art is a high-end art supply store and framing shop with outlets in Sacramento, Redwood City, and San Jose, California. Oh, baby. They have every kind of art supply imaginable and employees that know how to use them and are not incentivized to sell you the expensive stuff. They are incentivized to sell you the right stuff. Yeah, that's how you like it. They have workshops. They have demonstrations. Yeah.
Hands-on sometimes.
Hands-on. Oh, yes, you know you like it. So if you have art supply needs, like Baron here does, and he knows, baby, he knows, you go to University Art, the hottest, sexiest art supply store in California. Oh, yeah.
And somewhere Mike is cleaning beer off of his monitor. Hi, Mike.
Well, that monitor needed to be cleaned anyway.
And I have to agree with K-Fox. Benedict as the modern contemporary Sherlock is great.
He's amazing.
I have to admit, though, Jeremy Brett for the classic historical is my favorite Sherlock. But as far as modern-day Sherlock, oh, yeah, he has it just nailed. And he did a very good job as Doctor Strange.
Now there's a toxic grade question.
if you had a bronification ray
Mm-hmm.
with a single shot, who would you hit? Who would you turn into a brony? Patrick Stewart, right in the forehead.
So we could have a good Star Swirl.
Well, again, Brian, what's his name was?
He did do a bad job.
He did okay. It should have been Patrick
Rick
Stewart.
Stewart.
It
Yeah.
should have been.
And I still do hope in season 8 that we get a Star Swirled Discord
Well,
moment.
I'm going to bet there will be. I mean, there have to be because Discord's a recurring character, and the Star Swirl and his ilk. You know, was it the Foundation?
The Pillars.
The Pillars. The Pillars. I mean, it was set up that we're going to see more of them. So, yeah. And at least according to the Tale of Two Sisters, Star Swirl summoned the princesses to Equestria
The deal.
to fight Discord. That's going to be a hell of a meeting.
Well, that and because take over the raising of the sun and the moon because it was wiping out the unicorns. But partly because Discord was causing so much trouble and they were having problems keeping control of the sun and the moon. But yeah, it was basically because he was wrecking the joint.
Yeah. So again, so unfortunately, it's not going to happen. But but it's my fantasy, and there's no wrong way to fantasize.
That's right. Yep, that's why Bettina thinks Celestia is the best. Best pony in the
Oh,
world. What?
you are evil, generic. He would shoot Donald Trump with a bonification gun.
Yeah. Then
There's one word I would pull from that sentence, but I'm not going to say which because I like my freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So let's see what else we got. Yeah, as well as a knight, Sir Patrick. Well, he is Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yes, he is.
And of course, Ian McKellen would be also interesting too.
Yes, he would.
Sir Ian.
There was, I follow Patrick Stewart on Twitter, and there was a photograph he put up of him, Ian, and George Takei sitting around a table having dinner. And I'm going, oh, I would love to have sat the next table over and listen to the conversation between them. That would have been glorious.
Yeah, there's one too many two-syllable words in that sentence, by the way, Widget. Yeah, they have to be all single-syllable words. Yeah, but let's not go too far down that path because that path leads to politics, which is which we don't need.
Yeah, we have enough of that in our daily. We get more in our RDA of that.
Yeah. So let's see. Discord is not the same as Star Swirl. No. The canon, of course, has Discord as one of the first, great magic using, Pones, who was the mentor of
Clover the Clever.
Clover the Clever, which means that he was there before the founding of Equestria. Equestria was joined by the 3 tribes. Then, a period of less than a pony's lifetime passed, during which the pillars, did all their things, and which all of that stuff happened.
And the Pony of Shadows.
Then the Pony of Shadows happened. Then
Discord
showed up. Then, so we know that Star Swirl summoned the princesses, from outside of Equestria.
Mentored them for a little while.
Yeah, mentored them for an indeterminate period of time, sometime during which they defeated Discord.
Defeated Sombra.
Yep, and defeated Sombra. And sometime after which Luna descended into madness and became Nightmare Moon. You notice that we didn't see any sign of Star Swirl, who probably had disappeared by then. So actually, dealing with the Pony of Shadows would have to have come after the banishing of Discord. And because dealing with the Pony of Shadows removed Star Swirl and the etc. from time. And after that is when Luna turned into Nightmare Moon, had her fit of jealousy rage, and got banished. So that was an interesting 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is it kind of like all of what we call ancient Greek history? Took place within about 100 years.
yeah. I thought it was one of the episodes. I think it was in season 3 when Spike made the observation. That was a busy 100 years. busy 1,000 years ago. So 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago. It's like, oh, it was a busy year.
Yeah. Tell you what, Agni. Let me know after the show, and maybe we'll if it's that loaded, we'll let me know after the show, and then we'll think about it for next show.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you guys. In Star Trek, what do you think is the most confusing and infuriating plot device they ever shoved into Trek that was never resolved? Any time travel episode.
Yeah.
They are so sloppy with those,
Well,
they reach for it so frequently.
Yeah.
It just lost all meaning.
Yeah, they've broken their universe on several occasions. Like, oh, okay, we got this. Wait, what's this? But this breaks this.
Yeah. Horace laughing somewhere on the warp. Yeah.
Switch to darker. Let's go to B.
Yeah. List of potential pony waifus. Yeah. That's the thing is that waifu and ideal mate are not quite the same
thing.
Just because waifu brings a certain top spin to it.
Mm-hmm.
Celestia is never waifu.
Nope.
I mean, there are some people for whom that say she would be the ideal, but that's not waifu. It's a different kind of thing. Fluttershy, right down the middle.
Yeah, because for one thing, Celestia has too much agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. And Bravo's theory is that Star Swirl planted this tree of harmony shortly before going to limbo, and the sisters harvested it to beat Discord. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it makes sense from a time point of view. Maybe in season 8 we'll find out if Star Swirl has anything to say about the map, the tree. Yeah, again.
Twilight's Castle.
Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole bit.
Yeah, because particularly, it's like now if Star Swirl has any harsh words about Discord, I am suddenly watching Fluttershy getting in some old pony's face real fast.
Yeah, to go faster. Red, go faster for a war. And it costs 5 points more.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, they can't run things about the Book of the Two Sisters, etc. Yeah, it is kind of secondary. Now, the Book of the Two Sisters was written by Amy Keating Rogers, but there's some stuff in it that to me doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it has to stay in secondary canon. But that being said, it still makes sense that if Star Swirl was the mentor, and the princesses arrived after the 3 tribes joined, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Which begs the question: summoned from where?
Yes.
And again, the difference between a made alicorn and a born alicorn. Which of course, let's sell some baby pony alicorn toys. Has completely randomized that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, product marketing department.
Yeah, but I will admit that happened with Cadence to begin with.
Yeah.
Because originally she was supposed to be a unicorn, and Lauren's like, oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Surprise.
They made it work.
Yes, they did. Yeah, I did not like Cadence as a character at first. I've grown to like the character.
Yeah, their mom was God and for Fausticorn. Yeah. So there was a canonical character, or not canonical, a fan canon character, Galaxina.
Mm-hmm.
Which had a really nice visual design, etc., and which Egophiliac did a few pictures of. That's
yes.
Just like, that works.
Yep.
That works. There's this one where Celestia's first flight. That is just, oh my God, adorable.
Yes, keep flapping. Keep flapping.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the name of the piece is Keep Flapping.
Yeah, I have that in my
that's a saver.
In my Equestria visual archive. On my desk, on my computer at home. Yes, if you folks may keep hearing me, hey, I have this in my visual archive. I have this in my visual archive. I have a very large visual archive at home. I have about 25 gigabytes of imagery for various things: buildings, houses, vehicles, weapons, clothing, astronomical effects, environmental effects, different, and so I have a big file called Equestria.
Just so you know, we're at 9:27.
Yes, I figure we're gonna be wrapping up here. I might as well switch camera right now. I'm not gonna get.
Yeah.
I got the basic figure laid in, and I will basically shade this all in, probably tomorrow, because hopefully tomorrow it'll be loud noises, and they'll be installing a new double ovens in our kitchen finally.
Yeah.
The
I'm so jelly.
Yeah, well, the part of the thing is that the guy has been wanting to do it, but there's supposed to be 2 other people are supposed to come in and help him lift the 240-pound ovens into place, and they keep not showing up, and he's losing patience, and the management company is losing patience, and they're like farming around trying to find some new people to come over and help the guy get the job done.
Parking lot of Home Depot.
Yeah, it's been getting about that. So I want to thank you all for showing up on the Sunday night. I mean, we were expecting maybe 40 people tonight.
We ended up with over 60.
Yeah, so you guys are great.
Hi, Venzi, are you new? You unfortunately arrived just near the end of the show.
Yes. Well, we're going to be doing this again this Saturday, starting at 5:30 Pacific time. Love to see you guys there. We're working on Patreon rewards at that time. I want to take this moment really fast before we sign off. Once again, thank you all you guys who are my supporters on Patreon. If you guys weren't doing this, I couldn't be doing this full time. You're one of the things that helps even the paycheck out and everything. If you've seen anything tonight, with the exception of the Twilight piece, that's already claimed by somebody. Someone actually contacted me. All the stuff that's going to be for sale.
Yep. Thank you, Kat. Yeah. Yeah. Go and vote for Barron's.
Yes.
Go and vote for Barron's piece for the Ursa Major Best Published Picture Award.
And in the March is the end of voting for that. So we got a couple weeks left. Every vote counts, and he's going to be going to the convention in Australia where they're going to be handing out the awards, and he really would like to be able to have to walk up there and have to take it on behalf of me.
Yep.
So
yeah, write him a letter.
Exactly.
Yeah, just in case, just write him a letter so you can do that.
Yeah, well, I'll basically say things along with it. It's already been kind of worked out since he's the author. He's the author of the novel, so.
All right. Well, cool then. So, yeah, thank you very much again. And we're going to see you guys where in Oz?
It's in Goldfur. Can you put like a link to the convention in the chat here for Monkey Chimp here so he can know where it is? And then you guys can maybe like hook up or something like that.
Yeah. As Yakko says, yeah, pretty soon now it's going to be good night, everybody.
Yeah, and we got burgers.
Yeah, burgers to make, man. So.
Yummy burgers.
All right.
All right.
I say to you, bye-bye.
Good night. You guys are awesome.